freaking out right now.
We are live.
Hello.
It's alive!
Hola,
Ah.
¿cómo estás?
I wish
Bien
I'd known
hecho.
that.
That's already more Spanish than I know.
He said, hello, how are you? I said, good, and you.
Oh,
That's all I know, really.
I'm doing good. If it counts.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 3 of the D&D campaign, Season 1. And I swear I updated the title, and it still says episode 8 on my end. Does it say that for everybody?
It does.
Yeah, it does.
No, give her a quick refresh.
Yeah.
Nope. It says Hobo Slayers D&D Season 1, Episode 3.
Okay,
Yep,
it just didn't
give it-
refresh automatically.
Mhm.
Cool. We're good then. Oh, welcome everybody. It's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know.
3 weeks.
3 weeks since the last
Three.
session. So welcome back everybody. Last time, of course, if we remember, we did some dungeon delving, and then we all leveled up. So who's excited to see what comes out today?
A lot of close calls in the last session. And we
Yeah,
ended up
except-
on a close call.
Yeah, not to mention I got downed right there at the end by a statue of all things.
Yeah. To give a quick little recap, they are delving into a dungeon beneath the city of Ice Brew and the brewery of Ice Brew, attempting to ascertain what has been causing these strange little bits of undead to pop up and eat the townsfolk. And going on through, they've discovered that they need to unlock a puzzle to get deeper into the dungeon. And that has involved scanning and frisking of various statues. And eventually, one of the statues frisked right back. And as you can see, now that we've got the map all lined
Yes.
up here, that Denville, just scroll back, that our good friend Denville has been hit in the head with a halberd the size of a person. So, and with that, you know the drill. Roll for initiative.
It's time. And make sure you click your token before you do so your name pops up on the turn order.
Yep.
Oh, hey, I didn't pull that up. 1 second. On my end.
Phil, let me. I'm still having technical with this thing. There we go.
Now I have.
Mortanis, I think it's this freaking shadow feature. It slows my computer down hard.
Well, thankfully, they are actually in the process of redoing this with a web-based GL rendering system. Might have been using one of the game engines. I can't remember exactly which one, but it's going to be getting away from HTML5 and into a more friendly for computers. I mean, I've got a pretty decent computer, and even mine, when I scroll, it lags pretty badly. So, and it looks like someone didn't click their token.
Ooh.
Oh.
Is that me?
It was you.
So I had the bad luck of getting hit by the statue, but I had the good luck on initiative.
The dead guy's faster than all of us.
That is very true. He, as a fast effect, collapses.
Why am I
Dan-
picturing? Why am I picturing like a cartoon just for someone comes up and just boom and I'll just fall over?
Pretty much.
That's
Instead of
what
an
happened.
anvil, it was a gigantic halberd, but nonetheless. Denville, you have that momentary, oh, hey, this is probably as you get felled to the ground. So you were down for the count momentarily, at least, which brings us to Vice.
Oh boy. We're going to go back up 5, 10 to the door. I'm going to pull out my light crossbow. And I'm going to take a shot at it.
An 18 is indeed a hit.
9 piercing damage.
Surprisingly, that actually does seem to do damage against the mechanoid statue. The arrow zips through the air and catches it right between two little plates, hitting into the gears and doing a little bit of damage.
Alright.
And I do believe that'll be my turn.
Okay.
Hang'em Windhammer.
All right. Doing the one thing he knows best. He gets up nice, real close, real friendly with him. And he's going to. I'm actually going to grip it two-hand style and try to get as much grip and rip it.
That is more than enough to hit.
I'd hope so. Otherwise, I have severe questions. And then, what do I do for damage again? Do I hit the same thing?
Just click the link in the chat.
Or it says Battle Axe two-handed. You'll click
Oh.
that.
Got it.
10.
Not too shabby. It does also appear to be, well, I don't want to say vulnerable, but not resistant to that damage. So your battle axe swings through the air, catches it right in that same place, shattering the arrow crossbow bolt that had lodged there a second ago, and just wedging apart
Sorry.
some of the gears. Very nice.
All right. That's my turn done.
Despite all the damage that it has already taken, the beast, the clockwork device, does appear to be still functioning. And that brings it to its turn. And, honestly, it doesn't care about attack of opportunity. So, despite the fact that it is actually not large, I just put it in the center to make it look like that, it's going to move past, stepping over the corpse, warm body on the floor.
I'll say I'm not dead yet.
It does not leave it does not leave adjacentness. I don't know if that's a word, to hang him. So it stands between the two of you, and then its halberd arm comes down, stretches on out with a clack, 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 and then General Grievous style, it spins its body around, leaving its head and torso inert, but its whole center mass just spins around, cleaving every single standing figure. Thankfully, not Vice, because he is just outside of its range. No, it's a reach of 10, so that'll smack all y'all. So
Oh
let's
my
make
God.
attacks against each and every one of you. All right, so we're going to start at the top of the clock and go clockwise with Vice.
What do you need me to do?
Will a 13 hit that AC?
Yeah, because I didn't cast Mage Armor.
Following with Drusilla. Will an 8 hit? No, of course not.
Didn't do all that.
And another 8. Wow, look at that. Vice, you're the only one that's going to take a little bit of face halberd. That'll be 12 points of slashing damage.
I'm okay, guys. I'm okay.
It's a little more than a little bit of.
I'm okay.
As the clockwork device spins around and misses pretty much everybody except for the tiefling. Yeah, you're a tiefling.
Yeah.
It then settles down, a little bit of steam escaping out of various plates and joints, and it hisses down into a somewhat squat position. Drusilla.
All right. Let's do or attempt to shoot my light crossbow. Right.
A 10 is not enough to hit. Your arrow arcs through the bolt, arcs through the air. It hits the wall beyond it. Clink. Any movement? I mean, you are adjacent to it.
Yeah, let's move back a couple of steps or 10 feet.
Do remember that if you fire a ranged weapon at point blank range and the monster's right next to you, you have disadvantage.
Good point. It wouldn't have mattered anyway in this case. But
Yeah.
also, as you step out of range, it does not take the attack of opportunity because it appears to be stunned momentarily.
Cool.
And top of the chart, Dunville, what do you got for us?
I'm
death
gonna have to
saving.
roll for a save. So give me one moment here to roll a 20.
Come on, Denville. Don't die on us yet.
Try not to. I'm trying
Yeah,
mainly
you.
right now get to cooperate. That's a fail save.
That's a
Hmm.
fail. Vice.
Lord. I'm gonna guzzle down a healing potion.
Makes sense.
All right, you have those.
For a good reason. 1d4 plus 2, I do believe.
I had it here, and then I scrolled away. 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2. Oh, I'm already looking a little bit better. And then I'm going to step. I'm going to shoot. Gonna hit. 8 piercing. And step, and then I'm gonna hide behind the door.
So, question for my turn. If I swing, am I able to drag our Denville away from the clockwork thing?
Potentially, yeah. I'll allow that. You'll have to move at half speed as you're encumbered by a very limp body.
Fair. I shall.
Can I just point out how he's already assuming I'm dead? I thought in this case it was more of, oh, I'm down, kind of like from Left 4 Dead.
You're bleeding to death.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to give their little clockwork thing
Oh, nat 20. Look at that. That is going to be maximum damage. And I don't know what your battle axe and all of that is. So what is maximum? I mean, you can go ahead and click it, and then we could just figure it out from there.
Yeah.
It's 1d4 plus 4. Or,
So an 8.
Or no, sorry.
It counts as both. It's a 1d10 plus 4.
A
14
1d
damage.
a 1d4 battle axe.
And-
That's impressive. Yeah, so that'll be 14. Yeah.
All right. And then I'm going to grab Denville here and drag him away from this thing.
Okay, makes sense. Inexplicably, the thing is still standing. It is taking a beating, but it is coming for y'all.
Yeah, so I moved him back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still loading on roll 20. So once it does, I'll
I
my
gotcha.
token back.
And the Clockwork Soldier continues to be in a state of restful repose. And then at the end of its turn, it regains its stature, drawing itself back on up to full height and repositioning its halberd, ready to chop some face. Drusilla.
I'm gonna attempt to attack again.
Fire.
That is a hit.
4 piercing.
And that is sufficient to catch it right in the plate where its head, helmet, facial region, and its neck join. Catches it and pops it clean off. The steel helmet spins through the air once, twice, bouncing right onto the lap of our good friend, Denville Astaire, who is dearly departed.
I'm not dead yet.
I can cremate him.
No, no. Bad advice. No.
Bring out your dead.
All we need now is for a plague to come through the town, and then we'll just be like, well, you know what, Vice? Now we
I
have a
would
job for
I
you.
mean, we
I
kind of
would
already got
consider people turning into zombies as kind of a plague.
one. Yeah.
Hence why I burned the tavern down.
I can't believe that I had one shot at that cleave everybody and it only hit one person. It's just... In any case, the Clockwork Soldier falls itself apart, gears springing everywhere, its head over there in Denville's lap. And yeah, we are out of combat. You guys can do whatever y'all need to do.
I want to search the Clockwork Soldier.
That sounds like a
I
pretty
need a
good idea.
medic.
Yeah, does anyone have a potion for our friend here?
Nope.
I have one more, so I'm going to toss the potion to them.
I catch and give to our friend Denville.
So that was
2d4
Am I-
plus 2.
2.
who's rolling, me or Alan?
You're the one healing.
Okay.
Whew, that definitely hurt.
Yeah, that was
Not too bad.
Want me to roll an investigation to check the body?
Yeah, go for it.
Dang.
Not too bad of a roll. As you paw your way through the remains of the, I'm going to say, beast, you do manage to find that someone had secreted away in its chestal cavity a bullseye style lantern and a single pint of oil. Also, a little cloth, sackcloth bag containing 17 gold pieces.
And 17 gold.
alrighty. Well, rise and shine, sleepyhead. Let's go. Let's go figure out what were we doing in this corner again. That's
You were searching for potentially 4 items that you thought would open the doorways further on in. And could someone remind me which of the items you have so far collected?
I remember when I was dealing with that statue, it was gauntlets of some sort, and then the moment I grabbed them, it just decided to bonk me on the head.
That one had a bracelet, actually, like a bracelet.
It did indeed, and
What's the
it turns
bracelet?
out that's not part of the quest. It is just a part of its. It looks like someone put braces on it. I mean, I didn't include them in the loot because they're just cheapo leather.
And I got
Okay.
some scale mail.
Okay, hang on. Hold the phone. So you mean to tell me I got insta-killed, bonked on the head for something that's not even part of the quest?
Yeah, you were frisking the wrong statue, buddy.
I need a drink.
All right, so as you guys recall, you needed a crown, a sword, a shield, and you need Mortanis to scroll quicker.
because I think we got the first 3. I think we're just
Oh.
missing one of.
Bone.
Right.
Which one are we missing? Because I thought we had the sword shield. Oh, we had the sword shield and bone. I guess we need the crown.
Sword and bone, crown and shield. Actually, I can reveal that again if anyone needs it.
Yeah, and we have the sword. We have the. I think we have the crown, don't we? The crown
Yes.
and the shield. So we're looking for the bone.
Oh, we're looking for the bone. Got it.
Right. Okay. So let's continue searching.
All right.
I'm just
Which
going
way do you
away
guys want to
towards the
go?
door.
I'll go left.
I'll follow Vice's lead.
Okay, sounds good. Heading around that corner, you see another of those memorial rooms with 4 ossuaries and a couple more statues in the alcoves. You stare at it. It is a pretty decent poster. Thank you. You stare at the statue for a long, long time, feeling a little bit of a tingle somewhere deep in your gut, but it doesn't seem to activate, and nor does it try to kill anyone. Nor does it have anything that looks, quest-like.
Fair enough.
Okay. That tingle in my gut, I kind of want to follow this and.
The tingle in the gut was me just saying that you're worried that statues are going to jump up and slaughter people.
So nothing that seems.
Not an actual tingle.
Not an actual tingle. I'll have an urge to start burning things.
No, not particularly.
Nothing more than usual, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
All right. Following on, continuing.
Yep, Drusilla went down to the right, so.
Yep, I'm over here.
It is an identical but mirrored version of the room that you guys had just exited. 2 statues, 4 ossuaries. Each statue, once again, is different. It's apparently depicting a hero from whatever elven people from the dawn of time that this place seems to commemorate. But nothing else leaps out at you. None of the statues are wearing anything that looks detachable, and the ossuaries are all intact here.
Okay.
Mm,
Anything else y'all want to look at right here while we're here, or head on out?
I say we. I don't think there's anything here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not messing with any more statues in this whole dungeon. I'm leaving that to someone else.
Have we been to the left in this hallway?
No.
No, we have not.
Okay, well, we shall go that way. Or any objections, I guess I should say. Heading that
None
way.
from me.
None from me.
Okay. I shall
All right, you
wait.
guys work your way through the hallways. Again, that air is kind of thick, fetid, wet, smelling of mildew and mold. The floor, in occasion, has little bits of moss growing and squelches under your feet. The whole place is just damp. As you come to another set of steel double doors with the same inscription chiseled on the wall here.
Great.
So this is interesting. Hmm.
All right. Is there anything?
Oh, wait.
Yep.
Excuse me. Give me a second. I got to do this.
Well.
Those aren't actual doors there. Yeah. Continuing, you guys can move further in. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna take me a second, dude. I got roll 20 lagging on me again.
Oh
boy.
good.
As you step on into the central chamber, it reflects and mirrors very similar to the one further to the north that had that table that had depressions in order to presumably place items. This one, however, is a raised dais with a single, very large, 2-foot across steel bowl set atop of it.
I would
Is there
just like this. Oh, go
download
ahead.
to see if there's any in the bowl or?
The bowl is entirely empty, though it appears to have had something relatively recently, as there is residue at the bottom of it that is dried.
Does it look like ash or soot?
It looks a little bit like soot and maybe powdered stone, and definitely something that's dark, reddish, maroon.
Mm,
The other half of the puzzle. Gotcha. So we need to offer, taken by a guess on that. We're probably gonna need to offer blood and water,
hmm.
probably some finely ground stone into powder form. Probably set it all on fire. So I've got one of that.
Blood, yeah.
Hey, how you got a little blood over there for us? Of course you do. I think you got a little bit extra blood you can give us, right?
Yeah.
Denville left most of his on the floor.
You could go back for some of it.
Just like go
Yeah, I'll
back.
tell you
a
what.
little-
You're not getting any fresh from me. You want blood? Go get it from the ground.
I am the most healthy boy here. I will graciously offer some of my blood.
The ancient gods don't want dried blood; they want fresh. Come on now, this is Magic 101.
I'll do like a ritualistic cut of my hand and put some blood in the bowl.
All right, you bleed your own blood into the bowl. You definitely feel a hum of energy as the first drops hit the bottom. It suffuses the area, kind of pulsing in time with your heartbeat. Something definitely has happened.
Interesting.
And now the water, but it probably isn't just plain water. Good thing we're surrounded by the spring water here.
Mm.
We need to go find a source for that, I guess.
You could just grab a handful of the moss that I was mentioning squelching beneath your feet like a minute
yeah,
ago.
true. I'm gonna go back and get the moss. Fair enough. Thanks for that.
Mhm.
All right, you scoop up some moss, give it a squeeze over the bowl. The water drips in, mingling with the blood. And after a couple of seconds, you again feel a increase in the energy that's humming through the air. It seems to be.
Alright.
Any loose pebbles or anything like that?
Why don't we just knock some off the wall? I mean, the wall's made of
Yeah.
stone, right?
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As long as we don't
Hang 'em,
cause
you
a
want to use
cave-in.
that? You want to use that battle axe to chip some off?
Chip. Off
Okay.
the wall.
You grab a handful of stone from the wall and toss it into the bowl and lament that your axe has been, dulled slightly by hitting a stone with it. But yes, again, another increase in the hum and power and energy in the area.
Well, only one
Alright,
thing to do.
let's take a few steps back here because I got a feeling this is about to be overkill.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to just stand over here and watch.
All right, I approach the bowl. I start summoning all the arcane energy. I'm making of it. I'm using prestidigitation to make it so like a humming energy is like to surround the entire room. My hands are starting to glow, like just multiply casting prestidigitation over and over again. Like I'm about to do something huge, and then I'm just gonna make like a Bic lighter fire off the tip of my finger and just put it in the bowl.
Oh,
Wait a
Immediately,
minute.
the mixture ignites and a pillar twisting of fire roars to the roof, scorching off of it and backdrafting all around the area. And as I actually recall, you guys had placed the 3 items in the northern table. And as I recall, there was already a little bit of bone lying around that had been ground up and put in there.
Mhm.
Yes?
Indeed.
So, completing both sides of the puzzle, there's a heavy, thick, intoning bell that rings through the area, and then the doors directly north of you silently swing open.
I'm gonna blow my finger like it was like the smoking pistol thing, and it's like, all right, cool, puzzle solved.
do we want to go through those doors or continue down here just real quick, or do we feel like we don't need to?
I say we continue and in case we find something, and then come back to the doors is the last thing we do.
I agree because I don't want to leave my back exposed to any kind of more clockwork monstrosities.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Well, for the sake of expediency, I can tell you that the room to the left, as we reckon it by map, west, how about that, and to the south are identical in every way, other than the statues are of, again, different people. None of them spring to life. None of the ossuaries have been damaged. None of them contain items of any note with any sort of cert.
Well, good to know. But before we go, let's take an hour. I kind of want to take a little rest after that clockwork fight. A little rest wouldn't hurt.
No,
Okay.
not a bad idea.
So like a
Anyone that
short
wants to
rest?
take a short rest, yes.
Sure.
So those of you that are wounded can spend your hit dice to roll them and regain hit.
All right. So I don't think we've done this yet. How do we do it? Do we just click the hit dice?
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, look at that! I'm back at full.
I will say just real quick, we didn't touch on it, but when the doors just like flew away, like that we weren't actually behind doors, I just like to imagine our characters were just like, well, there were doors there, but now they're gone. Now I have additional questions.
Everybody was staring at the bowl of fire and didn't notice the doors just evaporating. Yeah. Anyone else going to heal? Denville?
Yeah, I'm trying. It's lagging on me.
Up 7 health.
Yep. So I'm up to 14.
We have another hit dice. I might use it just to cap off because this could be a boss fight.
It seems very, very Bosk-esque. Bosk? Yeah, it's fine.
Bosk-esque.
I've got healing magic. False spells.
Alrighty.
Well, after an hour, you guys wander on in. And immediately the thing that you notice is that wall of alcoves, very similar to the ones where you encountered the shadows. Within each is a little sarcophagus, more of a stone coffin type of a thing.
Vice, burn them.
Yep. Not Mardon. You don't have to say it twice.
However,
Oh!
as you start to think about doing that, you hear voices further on into the place, waiting for the map to scroll. There. Okay. You hear voices further on in. It's a singular, heavy voice. Very, I'm going to say dwarven. It sounds dwarven. And you hear echoing off of the walls in there. Test number 137. Results negative. Necromantic energy seems unchanged. Portal unaffected. Attempting test number 138. Make note!
Shh, we're not alone.
Sounds like Magitech science. Ooh, I like this.
Shit. Well, what do you guys think? Should we go in guns blazing or go in
I'm all right.
calmly?
I'm gonna ready my light crossbow.
I'll go in first, and if something bad happens, kill them.
Yeah, let the pyromaniac go first.
You got
So
it.
I'm gonna approach the room.
Okay.
Which should we have just Palace move his token in there so people can see the room,
Probably so.
even though he's not actually in there?
Sure, we can do that. Oh,
Cool.
there's two entrances. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have come from the north or the south. As you step into the room, you see that at the far left side of the room, there is a 10-foot yawning portal archway. There's no portal currently in there, but it is definitely set in a way that those of you with magic skill of any type, arcane, can tell that it is a portal-esque device. The most noticeable thing in the room, however, is not the portal. It is the glowing orb that is set where that little blue ball and the purple ball is, hovering in the air about 20 feet on up. It is a monstrous work of brass and gold, silver, with 3 spinning concentric rings all around it, pulsing with a very sinister green type of energy. And as Drusilla and Vice step into the radius of that little blue area, you can feel it washing over you with some sort of strange energy type of a thing. Then standing next to the portal is a dwarf in a very long leather duster type of coat and that hat. You can see the icon. He's definitely wearing that hat. And he's dictating notes to his apparent apprentice, the gnome down there at the southern end of the room. And she is quickly writing in her book everything that he says about the various tests being negative and the like. Then there is a skeleton animated standing next to the dwarf, immobile, unmoving, standing there as if a statue, but you know that that can be definitely a problem. Statues, bad things. And then directly to the left of the skeleton is a table full of alchemical devices, alembics, reducers, all sorts of evaporators, covered in various potions and the like. There are also 2 tents in the room, which I did not bother to put on the map because it's pointless. And you can immediately tell that they've probably been here for a couple of weeks based off of the piles of refuse, the crates that are open and scattered, trail mix bars and all sorts of things. The dwarf glances at you and then turns back to the portal. Test number 138, commence.
Wait, so it
So-
doesn't even care we're there?
Nope.
Yeah,
You notice me at least.
Nope.
Can I do an Arcana check on the gate and see, try and see what kind of test he's doing?
Sure thing.
Well,
Hmm.
that's beyond me, guys.
Yeah, I can give
It's
it.
not on
Wow.
fire, so I'm at a loss.
I mean, I can give it a shot.
Okay. Yeah, give me 1 second.
So you squint at it from a distance, and yeah, with the 5, you're just like, maybe it's magic.
Maybe it's magic.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
There you go.
All right, a 20 is a really good job. It appears that he is actually doing nothing. He is doing nothing. He's talking at the portal, but he's not making any gestures. He's not holding a device at it. He's not pointing. He just seems to be test number 138. However, as he says that, the spinning globe that is above all of your heads pulses wider with that green energy washing over you guys, and then nothing happens. And he grunts. Test number 138, negative. Kill them.
Wait. I mean, no harm. We're just curious what you're doing.
Oh, jeez.
Ay, ay, ay.
I would like to plead to the gnome, but do you believe in the magic in a young girl's heart?
Roughneck, no. No, no, no.
What's funny is as he says that, we have 2 female characters taking the lead.
Give me a second to pop up my notes.
Oh, I know it's from a song.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I was about to say,
It's
we know,
perfect.
dude. We don't want to go there. I just, no. That's like the Rickroll song. We're just not going to touch it.
And you guys aren't supposed to be able to see those numbers. Apparently, I messed up setting this up.
I see nothing.
I see nothing.
I'm gonna pretend I saw nothing, but at the same time, I'm now officially scared.
So on a scale of 1 to 22, how hard do you think these things are?
I'm just going to, considering I got thwopped in the head by a statue, I'm gonna go ahead and say a 22. I'm half tempted to just be like, nope, fuck this, and run out.
Well,
Almost done. One more second.
Let's see if we can reason with them.
I'm trying.
There's zombies appearing around us. It's like trying to deal with the Umbrella Corporation. No,
The
it's not
zombies
gonna
answer
happen.
to somebody. That means we can reason with it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Just because you can doesn't mean you can, though.
What?
does mean you
It
should.
means that. No, let me phrase this. Just because there's a possibility doesn't mean it's going to come out the way you want it.
But we won't know till we try.
Fair.
So yes, from alcoves and rising up from behind the alchemical table there, 8 zombies claw their way on up to a standing position and begin to shamble towards you in a zombie-like thriller style shuffle. Now, in the interest of, because we're going straight into combat regardless of who's going to talk, if you want to attempt to negotiate, you can do so on your turn. In the interest of how this encounter works is that aura bubble that you guys see there, that greenish teal tint, Palace,
Yeah.
because of your absolutely wonderful Arcana check, not only are you aware that he's doing absolutely nothing when he's staring at the portal, but that the overlap of that orb energy over the portal is apparently what he's working on. And that overlap, that energy that you guys have been, well, the two of you have felt pulsing over the area, is a life type of energy. For living people standing within it, it will grant a little bit of a healing effect. For undead that are standing within it, it will grant them advantage on combat attacks.
Oh, jeez.
So let's all go ahead and do the fun part. Roll for initiative.
So it's basically a double-edged sword. How it works.
Indeed.
Well, I'm not negotiating anytime soon.
Hey, that's my best initiative I've had yet.
I am what you would call average.
I'm still rolling pretty high on initiative.
I've been low this whole time, so.
And Roll20 is not loading my character sheet. There it goes. Okay, finally. Let's get this going.
Glad to know it's not lagging on just me and not.
Yeah, it's completely DOA for me. There it goes.
Oof, 0.06.
Wow.
I mean,
Ouch.
it is a zombie. It makes sense, but still rough.
Wow, way to go, Roll20. Thanks for making this a wonderful night. I clicked it 30 seconds ago, and I have to wait because otherwise it's going to double roll. Oh, look at that. There it finally goes.
Do you have a negative initiative number or something?
Yes.
Wow. I've never seen that before.
They're zombies. They don't exactly have decks.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
Only halfway done. Waiting for the game. This is just wonderful.
I know, right?
I really hate the fact that I'm slower than 2 zombies.
Imagine how I feel for a moment. That's 4 zombies, especially the one next to me.
2 more to go.
5 zombies.
Oh my god.
Okay, it looks like the rolls are speeding up. Wow, those are really consistently. Look at that. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
How am I slower
2,
than
5.
5 zombies?
And a 0.
Wow, look at that. In any case, guess what? Denville, it is your turn, and you're actually standing for this combat.
Jesus.
Yeah, give me a second. It's still lag on my end for roll 20. There we go.
Yep.
Alright, so the zombie that's right next to me, the one to my bottom left, I'm going to roll to attack it. Let's see. I think I'm gonna do a long sword, two-handed swing, and just go for it. Just like the Scottish would say, "Go on yourself!"
All right, give it a
All
go.
right.
Sticking with it.
Does a 17 hit?
That is a hit and a half, yes.
I'm waiting to see what damage it does. Because I've already clicked it.
Of course, it has to happen when we're doing this.
Right.
Roll 20 just can't keep up with our level of awesome.
There we go. 11. Wow.
Well, that is actually a pretty decent hit, all things considered. Give me a sec.
The question is it a kill? Or am I just kind of cutting away at rotten flesh?
Maybe. At this point, it's whatever roll D20 wants it to be.
Well, also remember that if you harken back to the first night that we did this, the bar fight, zombies can get back up again if they make a pretty decent constitution check.
All right.
Unless they burn or get smited with radiance.
Indeed. Nonetheless, that hit is actually pretty darn decent. You bite into the zombie, cleaving almost in twain, but it is still standing and it is still looking at you with absolutely nothing in its eyes, but you can feel the hunger in its bones.
Can we just please redact one thing from that statement, Mortanis? I would never bite into a zombie.
Well, with your axe. Drusilla, you feel the healing energies washing over you, but you're full, so it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna take a step back 5 feet, so I'm not point blank range, and I'm gonna attack this guy. My bottom right.
Now, you did leave a threatened square without disengage. You left it for 2 different zombies.
Oh. Well.
I'm going to give you a second if you want to take that back and stand right there, but otherwise you're going to take 2 attempts of a hit.
Yeah, I will not disengage then, and I will just from here use my short sword. How about that?
Yeah, it's not 3.5 or Pathfinder. There's no free 5-foot step, so give it a go.
Cool.
Well,
There you go.
go ahead. Which one were you attacking with that nat 20 there?
The bottom
one next to
right of me.
Why not the one to the bottom left?
I'm giving each of us one to take on.
Go ahead and roll. I don't know what the. Go ahead and click on it so I can see what the formula is since we're max damaging.
1d6 plus 3.
Okay, so that'll be a wonderful 9 points of damage. Not too bad.
You know, it's the only thing that kills me about D&D is that each DM has their own separate roles that they interpret. Because, like I said, my group, when we roll nat 20s, that means we deal double damage on a roll.
It depends on a lot of different factors, but I figured we'd do max damage for this one to kind of even it out a little bit. It's statistically, it's slightly better damage this way. And I figured for low end, for starting, it would probably be a little bit more beneficial considering how badly you guys got whooped the first combat.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
there's nothing worse than rolling 2 1s for a double damage.
Zombie time. All right. The one in the far lower left corner is going to shamble towards Hangam Windhouse. Completely ignoring the gnome there, he steps around the corner, rolls back a shoulder, and lashes out with a big old punch. Is a 20 going to hit?
Yeah, you better believe it.
And, you know, as we've already established, he's going to pimp slap you backhand across the face. 2 points of blood.
Why is it the zombies are pimp slapping? Like, why not with the front of the hand versus the back?
To send a message.
Way funnier.
Yeah, way funnier.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
The one that is adjacent to Denville is going to just go ahead and reach out and attempt to punch him. Just sucker punch him right in the solar plexus. Will a 20 hit your AC, sir?
Yes, it will.
4 points of damage as it just jams its fist right on into your stomach.
Oh, you undead bastard!
The one that Drusilla had attacked is going to give its own little bit of a rebuttal. Also, I forgot that that very first zombie should have had advantage. So you're lucky that you only got that too. All right, Drusilla, the one that you attacked is going to return.
Dang.
Why, look at that. That is going to be a maximum points of 7 damage. And
Okay.
that is definitely a pimp slap. That is definitely a pimp slap. 7 points of pimp.
7 points.
7
of pimp.
points of pimp damage.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right. And then one of the ones at the top is going to slowly work his way down towards y'all. And this time I'm not pulling punches, and it's going to go ahead and double move. But it doesn't get in. First time I was not allowing them to double move so that we could ease into an encounter. But now these zombies, they are ready to roll.
So in other words, we went from like 1970-ish Dawn of the Dead slow shambling zombies to 2004 full rage on sprinting zombies.
Yeah, slightly, but you know, more that you guys almost died in an encounter that I was handicapping for your benefit. Oh. All right, the one that is directly adjacent to Vice on the lower right is going to reach out and attempt to throttle Drusilla there, and I will get advantage.
Oh yeah, because you're in the blue.
It did not matter. Will a 13 hit your AC, regardless of which I take? Okay. Hangam Windhammer.
I'm going to swing with the power of 1,000 suns at the one in front of me.
Okay.
Give me 1,000 suns.
Well, it's not quite 1,000 suns, but it's more like 1.75 suns, but that is a hit.
I take it.
6 points of slashing, not too shabby.
Hmm.
Hmm. All right. Well, that's my turn done.
Okay, no movement.
Mm.
All right, another zombie is going to start. Oh, it's looking at Denville. It's looking at Denville. It's going to double move, therefore it will not be able to attack this turn. Vice, hey, look at that. It's your turn.
I'm gonna try something. Maybe a bit ridiculous.
Is it fire?
Sort of. Sort of. Sort of.
Oh boy.
Is the gnome girl still just jotting notes in the book, whatever he's dictating?
Yep.
Are you really going to attack a bystander right now?
Are you calling the apprentice of the person controlling zombies attacking us a bystander? And no, I'm not going to attack the bystander right now. Give me a second. So I'm going to provoke an attack of opportunity to move next to her. Do it. Go ahead and hit me. Hits.
Hit. 3 points of pimp damage.
That's fine. I would like to take the book from her hands.
Oh, okay.
She's writing it. I want to snag the book and hold it way over her head.
Oh my God.
I'm not done yet. What do you want me to roll for that?
You know, actually, I think that's just going to be a
Sleight of hand?
probably dexterity. Oh, sleight of hand if you've got that skill, yes.
Well, I don't have a proficiency, but I
Yeah,
do have.
still give it a roll.
Oh my God.
That is a good roll. All right. So you can snatch it out of her hand. The piece of charcoal she's using in order to jot notes snaps clean off, drawing a line through the rest of the blank page as you yoink it out of her hand and over the head.
Okay, I'm holding it. The other hand is now lit with fire and saying, "Call off your zombies or I burn your research."
Wow. Well played. Okay, we're still in the same turn structure, so the zombies are going to continue until the next turn when they can act. So nice.
Okay.
All right. The only other two that have yet to act are those ones at the far side, and they're going to start working their way towards the park.
Yippee! I have 4 around me now.
Oh well.
All right. Now the dwarf is going to interject and glance over his shoulder at you and stop, just dead stop. All semblance of motion. Before he was animated, staring at the portal, kind of looking for minutia changes in any sort of whatever he's looking for. But now he just stares dead at you. Oh, son, you aren't gonna like what that works. Ma'am, lad, lassie. There you go. You are not going to. I forgot that you're whatever that is, tiefling. You are not gonna like how this ends if you do not return my notes.
I don't like dying by zombies, so I'll return them if you call them off. If I'm dying anyway, the book's going with me. And I'm putting my fire hand closer to the book, but not enough to ignite it.
Oi, you wee dwarf. You might want to listen to the lass. She done burned down a fucking tavern over these damn zombies.
I'll do it. We can talk this out. Or I can burn.
You know, I feel like that should be a straight up intimidation check.
Or
Go ahead and
Mortanis, you
roll.
are the DM. Yep.
Ooh, nicely done. Because it would have been hilarious if you'd have rolled in that one. I'm gonna burn your book if you. I mean, I'm gonna burn your.
I'm gonna
your
burn
book.
I'll do
21
it.
intimidation. You bring the pages down just to the point where they're starting to curl ever so slightly. A little bit of smoke just wafting off of the books. And he lifts a hand, gestures 2 fingers, and all the zombies snap to straight attention. They are
Now,
no longer attacking.
Great. Can you please call them away from us now? For security's sake.
He stares at you for a second as if contemplating running a hand to gloved fingers through his beard. Well, it's the way that I see it. If you burn my book regardless, I can just straight up kill you. So, fair enough. He makes a little pinky gesture, and the zombies will take just enough away so that they're not adjacent to everyone. In fact, we'll just line them all up like that.
Quick, Vice, burn them all!
Shh. No.
All right, we're going to continue in order of the initiative for players to act if they want to do anything. But right now, we're in a pseudo bit of combat. Nothing's actually happening, but I want every player to have an opportunity to interject. So, Denville, is there anything you would like to do now that the zombies have formed a conga line?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember here. I can't remember if it's Cure Wounds or Healing Word that has an area of effect.
You should get in the circle.
You should
Yeah,
come.
sir.
You should regroup with us. Yeah.
Just get in the circle.
Okay.
The
Oh,
circle
you
is-
missed
got
the
a
zombie.
point.
the circle
Mortanis,
is-
you missed the zombie.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
And go ahead. Vice, you will regain 1d4 hit points on your turn when you were doing the little birdie.
Oh, neat. Cool. I'll do that real quick. But yeah, there's another zombie between me and Hang'em.
Yeah.
That is what that is. Okay.
Oh, you dwarf, you trying to trick us by leaving a zombie?
That 1 hit point. All right. So, Denville, yeah, you're going to walk on over. You can also regain 1d4 hit points.
Okay.
Drusilla.
Okay. I guess heal first.
Yeah. Roll your 1d4.
Oh, I did that wrong.
No, you didn't. Oh, that was Sniper did it. Our 1d4.
Is there a space in between?
Space or /r space 1d4.
All right. Regain 2. And then is there anything else you would like to do?
Not currently. I want to see what Vice does here.
I think we all want to see.
Hang'em? Anything you'd like to do? Maybe slide forward into the
Yeah.
heel?
just noticing everyone getting a little closer and doing a little better. I'm like, I need to get in on this action.
Okay, go ahead.
Regroup,
Cover.
regroup.
That's what you said. Hell yeah!
Nice.
Didn't need it, but we'll take it.
All right, Vice. What would you like to do?
Since he's held up part of the bargain, I'll remove the fire from my other hand right now, but still hold the book. I'm going to bring it down slightly just so I can look like, what is the cover? It's just like notebook or whatever. Do I see anything that sticks out of the notes?
It is a dyed midnight blue cover inscribed with dwarven runes on the front of it. If you speak
Can anyone
dwarven,
read
let me
Dwarven?
know.
I do not, unfortunately. And I can't really give it to anybody else right now because it's kind of a bargaining chip. So
Yeah, I only speak Elvish, Giant, and Common.
I will address him though and say, much better. Now we can be amicable about this.
Oh,
I like-
amicable.
Well-
I'm very amicable.
I'm sure.
Well, Dave, on your comment, I'll probably say he's probably speaking common, but if he's not, I do know Dwarvish.
Well, I was talking about on the book itself. Like I was trying to think if I could read or not. Since I'm right next to Vice, she could just as easily be like, "Hey, can you read this?" and kind of turn it over, and I'm like,
Gotcha.
"Yeah" or "No."
I mean,
I'm a bit of a magic scholar. I love magic, and so I just want to know, what are you doing here? What is this for? This
He
portal.
stares at you absolutely as if you're daft. What does it look like I'm doing?
Either you
Looky.
are currently messing with it looks like a magical artifact producing quite the lovely zone of life right now that seems twisted in a way, or you're trying to activate this portal.
Wow, you put that all together on your own? Are you the best mage that whatever academy you learned in had to offer? Because, wow, stunning levels of intellect. Yeah, that, and he points to the orb up above him. That's mine. He points to the portal. That is obviously what I'm investigating.
Look here,
Okay.
you wee little bastard. If you want to keep insulting us all night, we'll just fucking kill you.
No,
But just fucking
that-
explain what's going
he
on.
does not speak. He does not speak.
No, I'm getting angry with this little bastard being a smart ass. I'm sorry. I'm not holding my tongue. I'm not
Do you
holding
have
my
a
tongue.
silent spell?
I would strongly suggest using it.
Oh my.
Give me
little-
a second.
It's a little loud.
Okay, hang on. I just got a notification I had disconnected from the Roll20 server. Did anyone else get that?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay then. That's bad timing. I don't know if that's karma or what.
it was the game telling you to be quiet.
Would
gonna
you
see if I
go
can-
ahead? Would you go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw after threatening to kill him?
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm making sure that I'm actually connected or not. I'm just moving my token one space over and I'm gonna move it right back if it is. Okay, yeah. Alright, let's see. You said a wisdom saving throw.
Aye.
So what do I do? Just click on the wisdom, correct?
Yes.
Oof.
How? He gestures at you. Shush now, adults are talking. And the hold person immediately takes effect. You are now paralyzed for the duration. And he's holding his fingers literally like this in the air. And as long as he does that, you're shushed.
Oh, that
Wow.
works.
Oh,
Strange. Strange.
Danzig,
though,
whose side are you on?
the side that's not getting us killed.
Now, it seems that we've got ourselves a little impasse here. I want my book. You don't want me to murder you. I think we've got a fairly amicable trade here. Give me the book, and I don't kill all y'all where you're standing. I leave, you leave, everybody's happy.
There is one thing though. You see, there was a bleed out from your magic. The water currently has quite a bit of necrotic energy coursing through it, and it seems to have turned the nearby town into a fleeting amount of zombies.
Yes, so I noticed around experiment number 110.
And yet you kept going?
What's your point? Yeah, what?
It's-
why? I
that's
have
magic.
yet to reach my goal.
Exactly. Magical progress. I understand it.
So you give me my book, I let you all live, and what? You go heal the town? Sounds like a pretty good heroic thing for me. Everybody wins.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds fun, as we can just try to avoid the necrotic energy blending, bleeding out and affecting everybody.
Well,
Just don't-
when I leave, that little orb up there is coming with me, and any little bleed over effect should dissipate within 24 to 72 hours.
Oh, perfect. Then, in fact, it might be in for the best interest that I may offer a hand of assistance in trying to get this portal working.
No, I just want my book. Sorry, son, but if the best that you have to offer is giving me 50% chance of obvious things in this room, I honestly don't need any of your assistance here. No, 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 no.
Well, that's disappointing. I was hoping to learn how these portals worked in more detail.
Mage, hand me book on over to me, and we will separate our ways. Or we can go the other way, and I could just start my research over from scratch amidst your bodies.
Preferably not. Okay, we can take this. Everyone okay with leaving?
Yes,
Oh.
100%. I don't.
Oh, could you just release the holding person just for his mouth real quick so we can get his answer?
He sighs exaggeratedly like a child, just and he gestures, opens his hands, and the hold person spell drops concentration.
Oh, you little wee bastard.
All right, we're leaving. Isn't that right, Denville?
I guess, Lassie, as long as they don't try to kill us.
That's
Oh,
kinda
I have
weird.
absolutely no interest in killing you, but I also have no problems doing it. It wouldn't even raise a sweat. 2 weeks of my time down the drain. Yeah.
Exactly. No one wants to waste their
Hand me
time.
the book and I will be off beforehand so you can see that I uphold my end of the bargain. For I am a man of truth and honesty.
Before you do that, I may can we continue looking around this place? Because I see looking around this room that we have stairs and other places that we can go. Would you allow us to continue moving around if we don't bother you?
He stares at you for a couple of seconds and then shrugs. Yeah, I don't think that any peons of your caliber will have any disturbances of my research. Nope, that's perfectly fine. Knock yourselves out. If you die, trust me, I will raise your bodies eventually.
All right.
Fair enough.
Isn't that reassuring, Denville? I slap him on the shoulder.
Now, me book, Lassie. Damn, I keep doing that.
Agreed, but unfortunately, Mage Hand is not my forte. And I'm going to just give the book back to his apprentice.
She immediately cradles it to her chest and, having said nothing yet, just glares at you. And then she walks on over next to the door. And she hands him the book. He looks at it, flicks through, just making sure none of the pages are actually singed, smiles and says, well, I can't say it's been a pleasure, but at least it has been an honestly trying experience. It has been a very long time since anyone has tested my patience so difficultly. We must be off. Miss Tessmacher, follow. And he reaches out, grabs the skeleton by one shoulder, her with the other, and with a quick little pop of displaced air, they both vanish.
Along with the orb, I'm guessing.
Nope, the orb stays there. For a split second, it hovers, still pulsing its energy, and then it crashes down to the ground. Gold, brass, bits of silver, pewter, all sorts of metals just collapse in under its own massive weight because it is pretty big. It is a 10-foot across, plus the spinning things. It slams into the stone, sending up a shower of sparks, pelting everybody, but I'm not going to make anyone take any damage. And then it just, with a cacophonous rumble, collapses in on itself, screeching metal tearing, and then all goes silent. And then 8 zombies just fall as if marionettes with their strings cut.
Excellent. And I'm going to start burning the bodies.
Check the bodies before you burn them.
Oh, fine.
And I want to do the same. I want to go up and check a few of them as well.
Okay, amongst the tents that were there and the bodies and everything that you search in the room, why don't you guys give me perception check? Anyone that actually wants to search.
Perception. Aha.
Alright, so can I just point out something? In the past few times we've been playing, I've gotten rolls where it doesn't matter. They go and roll high. But the ones that do matter, for some reason it wants to screw me.
Yep. Once again, it appears that Vice is the one that finds all the stuff. Amongst the bodies in the tents, you managed to find 54 gold pieces, 12 silver.
54.
At least I tried.
pieces.
Here's an idea. How about we burn the bodies and we check the orb itself? Because if he
Oh, that's
just
my
left
plan.
it behind. Oh, well, okay.
All right. I'd like to also investigate the orb. Is it still intact from its its crashing?
No, it has fractured into a significant amount of parts, though upon closer inspection, you find that it wasn't solid, nor was it even particularly large. I mean, as far as like thickness of the walls, it seems more like it was pressed sheets of the various metals with an interesting amount of gem work that spills on out on the ground. A lot of the runes that were inscribed upon its surface are completely lost, unable to be read, but it appears to be a mix of dwarven and elvish script, the same elvish script that you've seen throughout this place, a very archaic form, proto-elvish perhaps. But you might be able to salvage the pieces for scrap as far as the metals go. But in and of itself, it doesn't look like you'll be able to glean much from it. But you could give me an arcana, so could anyone else that wants to kind of suss out its magical aura there. 17 is a good one.
I'm waiting.
7
to see
is
if it'll
not.
Let me.
Like I said,
Well, I can tell you with the 17 is you extend your magical senses on over it. You definitely get the same sense of that pulsing energy that was over there. But the curious thing is it doesn't feel necromantic nor holy. It feels like a semi-combination of the both, as if just life, just granting life. So for the living, it would heal. And for those that have passed beyond the mortal coil, it would animate them. It's a confusing thing for anyone that's actually spent any amount of time with various magical schools. It doesn't feel like necromancy, nor does it feel like healing, but some sort of a strange combination of both.
And that brings up another question for me then. But I'm going to gather up all the orbs in the bag and just all the dust and the shattered fragments and let people gather the scrap metal.
I do know Dwarven, so I could probably read some of the stuff if there is any Dwarven left.
I know it too.
Well, and you also said that I mastered like the Proto-Elven script when I was
Yes.
telling 20 language, so.
Okay, it's difficult to piece together because it doesn't appear to actually be phrases nor anything. It appears to be more like specific symbols as accent marks. You could pick out various things that mean things like war, combat, battle, life, home, family, but nothing that would be a sentence or a structure.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have a bigger problem than those guys. This energy it's bringing the dead back to life, but it doesn't kill. So now we have a bigger question. What killed everybody at the bar and reanimated them?
Well, yeah, that's a good question.
That is definitely a good question.
If the brew was made using this water, which had the exact same energy, then that's probably why it tasted so good. It has magically augmented and made, tasted delicious. But at the same time, it's just not poisoned by nature. So something had to have happened to kill the brewmaster. And then something had to happen to kill the patrons. And then when they died, they were brought back.
Could it possibly be that this is a different kind of poison? That like it just turns you if you drink it, like without actually killing per se?
If it did, we would probably be turning into zombies right now.
That's fair. So something else had to have happened.
So let me run this by you guys. Who was the only person at the tavern other than us who was still a human?
Mayor.
The mayor.
Which is impressive given he was a dwarf.
Mm-hmm. So, either A, because of his dwarven nature, he was able to, just withstand any kind of poisoning whatsoever. Or B, the mayor might have something he's not telling us.
Why would he
Maybe.
kill off the brewmaster when that was the only source of income that was really bringing the town up?
That's the
'Cause he
question.
Unless
Maybe
he
he
had
just wanted the brew.
ulterior motives for bringing other income in. Because, at that point in time, the brewmaster was the one getting all the income from the people coming in.
But still, I don't see that being something to murder someone over. I mean, the
Maybe
brewmaster could have just
A
as
lot of
easily
people
moved out.
murder for money.
this is a stretch, but maybe the mayor is more involved with the brewery than he let on. So maybe he did kill for power, and
I can see that.
he took over. He wants to take over the brewery.
You do recall that he had a significant amount of notes trying to deconstruct recipes.
Yeah, because I went through that.
So maybe he's trying to
Yeah.
become the brewmaster.
If he managed to make the same brew, he can take out his competition, collect 100% of the profits for himself, and keep his town booming.
Yeah.
So, I don't like this environment right now, so I say we look around a little bit more and try and get out of here. And we go have a word with our mayor, our contractor.
I have a better idea. Let's just screw looking around. I mean, we haven't found much worth of using other than for that puzzle, and then of course the bracers, which are
Well,
not
but
worth me getting twapped in the head for.
Hey,
she's gonna lift her hand and
I
show the
got
bracelet.
decent armor
But
off of
the
that.
busting bracelet, fire!
Well, this is actually a good point to take a little AFK break, little bio break for some people, and then we can head back to town and pick up the thread there.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Why don't we do a couple of minutes here? And everybody, stay tuned. We're not done. We will be back shortly.
Forever.
See y'all soon.
Worry about food soon. You're gonna start smelling and be like, God damn it.
And we are back.
Hey, the
Hello
plot.
there, children.
The plot thickens.
Ah, chef. I had
All
to
right,
listen
so
to this later.
unless you guys are going to be doing anything in the dungeon, you're just going to egress your way back up the well and the ingenious yet strange little bucket mechanism and head on out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't think there's really anything worth hunting for in this dungeon. We already got the answers we wanted, and we possibly got to kill a mayor and take over a town. So let's go deal with that.
Quick,
Is the
quick
brim-
question.
Sounds like a plan.
We've been in this
Yeah.
circle. Is the circle still technically here since he's gone?
Yeah, go ahead and well, no, it collapsed. So you guys are still at your current HP.
Don't
Give me a
ask.
Question: when we go up the well, is the brewmaster's son still there?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to ask him to come with us into town.
Okay, that makes sense. And he has absolutely no problem with that because he would like to find out exactly what's been going on. So, as you guys return back onto the surface, you see that he's apparently been sitting there in a semi catatonic state, just kind of staring off into nothingness, processing the fact that he is double orphaned. He was an orphan and then taken in by Ice Brew and then orphaned again. So, sucks to be him. In any case, he follows along dutifully behind you guys in kind of a numb fashion as you return back to the mayor's little establishment. You left early in the day, and it is now late afternoon. No, you guys did actually do a full
long
rest in the
rest, yeah.
dungeon. Yeah. So we'll say that it's a little bit morning of a day, like 28 hours later or so. And a lot of people have been spending their time digging through the remains of the inn, trying to see if there's anything useful to be found, anything salvageable, and of course, trying to just figure out what's been going on. It appears that the mayor has not given any good information to the people of town, other than he is on the task and has sent trustworthy, powerful adventurers to look into this. And as you work back into town, people stare after you a little bit hopefully, a little bit fearfully as you trudge your way back to the mayor's office. Pound on the door, and a bleary eyed, very obviously having not slept, disheveled looking mayor opens the door. Oh, thank the gods that you're back. Please come. And he holds the door open for you.
All right.
Mhm.
You cram on into his little office there, and he slumps heavily into his desk chair like a sack of potatoes, rubs his face, and so what can you tell me? What have you found? Is the threat neutralized? Are we safe?
Guys, do we want to play this bluntly or do we want to try to be more investigative?
Let's be coy about what we know, or that are of our suspicions about him. I
Uh,
say.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell him we did dig around quite a bit, and we do believe we've solved our little zombie problem. But
He nods, kind of sadly, kind of morosely, just, hi. I had a feeling that you would figure everything out. It is why I put my trust in you. So tell me, we are safe now, yes?
well, we should be. Most of the energy that's in the water right now should be dissipating within the next 24, 72 hours, about 3 days. So
Aye.
just
So just don't drink the well water for a little bit. Just keep on drinking everything else and you should be fine.
Well, and that was the well water from Ice Brew
Yeah, yeah.
specifically, so
Yeah.
town water is hopefully unaffected. He nods, and a little bit of the color kind of comes back into his cheeks, and he kind of, well, that's certainly a little bit better than I was expecting. I truly thought that we might have to abandon the town, but if it's only the Ice Brew well, it pains me that my good friend. And he kind of trails off, staring off into nothingness, and then notices the kid there. Lad, yeah, so sorry about your parents. It's just truly a tragedy in all ways, shape, and form. And the kid kind of just nods and then, yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean.
Just one
Hmm.
thing that's bugging me, laddie. These
Aye.
things we found down the well, it's not what brought the zombies back, but it's definitely what was part of the problem. We still don't know what killed all the people in the tavern.
Well, the whatever caused the zombies, I would assume. What exactly did you find on down there anyway?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I did find, and dramatically do a 180 turn to him. I found Ice Brew's entire recipe catalog.
His eyes go absolutely wide to the point where you can see nothing but the whites of his eyes. Just, oh, laddie, that it lassie. Wow. Every dwarf just misgenders you. Oh, lassie. That is soothing words to my broken, shattered ears. I love the sound of that. You found. Why would it be in this well?
There's an entire complex down there. Believe it or not.
We've all got complexes. What exactly do you mean?
Oh, an
She
ancient
means a
stone.
dungeon, you fucking dense son of a bitch.
Why would Icebrew build a dungeon in his well?
He didn't. They just so happened to be there. And that was part of the source of why everyone turning into zombies. But, you know, I had this weird, suspicious feeling that, well, we've also looked at your office a little bit while we're here. You have conjured notes on his recipes, don't you?
He actually looks a little guarded. Well, a little bit. I like to consider myself a bit of a connoisseur of the alcohol, if you understand. And well, he's been such a good friend of mine for such a long time. I thought perhaps maybe I could figure out exactly how it's done.
Good
Maybe join him someday when I retire from mayorship. You understand?
Good friend. Good friend.
How
Hey,
good it? Go ahead. Sorry.
it's like, yeah, I'm agree with that. How good of a friend? That's what I'm asking. I'm going to direct the question of how good of a friend to the brewmaster's son, to the orphan. How good of a friend were they?
The son perks up a little bit. Well, I've seen the mayor stop by a couple of times a year, usually to try out some new brews and the like. And the mayor nods, enthusiastically. Oh, I frequently we would have a little bit of private tests. Some of the stuff that we have never made it to the public. You understand? And the son kind of nods. Yeah, there were the occasional odd batches that my father set aside for personal use, but yeah, I mean, as good of a friend as well, come to think of it, I think actually only the mayor is the only person that ever showed up that wasn't part of a tour. The townsfolk considered my father, my dear late departed father, something of a recluse and more of a wonder to behold from a distance. I don't think many of the townsfolk actually thought of him as a person so much as a mage of powerful brewmaster proportions. I think the mayor here is the only person that ever stopped by after hours. And the mayor nods. Yeah, that's entirely true. We were close friends, good friends, only friends.
You know, there's quite a bit of a habit for people don't really pay attention to certain types of people. Mostly those who live on the streets and everyone just passes by, and people who they would consider children.
Oh, and
So,
gnomes. Yeah.
and gnomes for sure. That can't be without. That goes without saying. So, in the times that he visited, would you say that they were very, pleasant? Was it all pleasant? There wasn't any arguments or anything.
The dwarf immediately colors like red, blushing hard, and the sun scratches at his chin. Well, no, I can't say it was always pleasant. I mean, have you ever seen a drunk dwarf? And the mayor kind of glances anywhere but at you guys. I only damaged a little bit of property, and I always paid for it out of city funds.
Of course, of course. Accidents
Typical
happen.
politician.
Accidents happen. But do you recall any of their conversations?
Almost always they were discussing brews all the time, mostly marketing, how to
Mhm.
get more alcohol in the hands of the people. And the mayor kind of nods. Yeah, we had expensive plans. Think of this: ships laden down with ice brew beer going to the four corners of the globe. Yes.
Sounds
And
like
how
a
did
lot of
you-
money to
Did
be
you have a
had.
visit?
What was that? I missed it.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that sounds like a lot of money to be had. A lot of money to split between two people.
Well, not anymore. I mean, that ship is sail. Ooh, wrong choice of word.
Hmm.
And just when was the last time you talked with the brewmaster there, your mayorness?
Oh, I honestly can't remember, but the sun immediately perks up. Oh, night before, 2 nights ago, actually. The night before everything happened.
Hmm.
Okay, guys,
Now,
do we want to get serious or we want to keep investigating? Because
hang
at
on.
this point,
I'm almost there. We've almost got it. We're about to clinch this. So, you said he was a recluse. I don't think your father would have been too happy with his brew getting shipped out everywhere. He was more of a craftsman. Craftsmen like to produce for a, usually a small beloved audience. How did your father feel about mass producing and shipment?
Well, I mean, he was enthusiastic about the money aspects, but true, the largest brews that he ever made were in batches of 3, maybe 4 50-gallon kegs. Nothing that would ever be considered expensive, no. And the dwarf nods. Exactly. We were only considering a small increase in production, 5, maybe 10 times as much per batch.
That's small to you?
Well, I myself could probably drink an entire keg over a fortnight. That's that's yeah, and I'd be but one dwarf. Imagine shipping to a dwarven city. How many kegs do you think that they would take? I tell you, it's not 4.
I don't think you feel like So here's the real question in the end. What were you doing at the brewmaster's house the other night?
Well, he had I'm sorry. Why am I under question about all of these things? You understand? I hired you. Speaking of which, I suppose I should pay you, and we should be on our way. Yeah. He sits down at his desk and starts fumbling on through things. Anyone want to give me a Is there a sense motive or is it just perception? I think we already
That's
established
insight.
it's insight. Yes.
Yeah.
Give me insight if you want to try to figure out what's going on with him.
I was about to do that too.
I was thinking that. And we all
Bruh.
were low.
damn. Wow.
Bro.
Damn, roll 20.
It is not liking you. Not at all.
How's
I'm
the
half
13
tempted to
look?
go get my fucking dice from my bag right now. Stop using this system.
How's a 13 looking?
A 13 is looking moderate. You can tell that he's nervous, but not glean anything more than that.
Because we're asking you these questions because we want to know why you would want to do harm to the brewmaster.
He laughs, a full-bodied, hearty laugh. Harm to the brewmaster. Oh yeah, that's a rich one, lad. Last. Can you imagine me, Mayor of Ice Brew, deciding to just destroy my entire reason to Etra? That's dwarven for reason to be.
What is it?
Actually, you wee little son of a gun, we could see it because of the fact that, all things considered, the 5 of us in this room right now, minus the wee last there, excuse me, lad. Now I'm having Seymour Tangent messing us both up. Minus the wee lad there, turned into zombies, but the rest of us didn't. So either we got lucky, or there was a design to it all.
Well, I'm a dwarf. There's nothing on the planet that could poison me. It's laughable to think that alcohol could do anything to me, regardless of what might be in it. I don't know
Maybe
about
not
you.
alcohol, but what if it's something added to the reserves? You knew he'd be coming then. You already visited. You knew that he was working on something special, and he wouldn't give you the recipe, would he?
Well, no, it's his. What are you saying? You think I poisoned my best friend in order to steal his brewery? And what? Expand? Well, I did say I was going to expand. Okay,
Expand marketing, shipping, be able to create a much higher facility to be able to produce a much.
When you put it
famous
like that, I
special
can
brew.
understand why you might be thinking about that. But I can heartily say I did not do that.
And we're supposed to just take you on the word there, eh, lad?
Yes.
Generally, evidence is required for such a statement.
Well, as it turns out, someone who shall remain nameless burned down the only bit of evidence that we have ever had, the alcohol that was served that night. And who is that now? Who is it that was covering up evidence by burning the entire inn down? Wasn't me.
Trying to whistle. That may be
Cool.
the case. And you might have been a victim there. You could. You could not be. You could have been the cause of it. But there is still one more person that I have to be suspicious of. Isn't that right, son? I'm going to look to the orphan.
He turns and stares at you. I'm sorry. You are now accusing me of killing my adopted father? Twice orphaning myself?
This took a.
Well,
a
what
turn
would
for
you-
sure.
He turns to the mayor. Sir, perhaps we might want to have this discussion in a more official manner. I'm thinking the town guard might wit to be listening in on this so that it's a little bit more impartial.
I'm fine with this. It's one of these two.
Aye, call him in. The more the merrier.
The dwarf throws up his hands. Okay, if that's what it's going to take, let me go get the town guard so that they can document this officially and we can take these stupid accusations and throw them where they belong
Nah,
in the
nah.
ruins of the inn.
Nah, you wee little laddie. You'll just stay right here. I'll be the one to fetch the town.
He shrugs. Okay. In any case, let me get your pay. And he counts out 250 gold coins, puts them on the table, and stares at them, and then gestures.
I'm just gonna go ahead and step back out of the office and find the nearest guardsman to get everyone.
Okay, it's not too hard. They're generally congregating around the ruins of the inn there, still helping people paw through. Town guard is a loose sense, given that this is mostly a tourist place, and that the worst they usually have is people, getting drunk on ice brews stuff when they visit, and then, drunk and disorderly wake up in the local cell. So you find a couple of people that are more locals that happen to own sword and little bits of patchwork armor, but you manage to find 3 of them that are willing to come along and this sounds like it'll be interesting. So it's better than watching the ruins of the inn where they used to be able to drink. So they wander on with you and crowd into the teeny tiny office of the dwarf. So there's now 10 of you standing around in there?
Something like that.
Hmm.
So let's go over what we've learned and what we know. Approximately 2 nights ago, we were all having revelries at the and we were all having our nice drink. The mayor was there, the townspeople were there. Everything was quiet and nice. Well, quiet being not the right term because it was quite loud. But then we had Ice Brew himself show up with the kegs of his greatest creation yet. The now, I guess, legendary, because there's not much left to go around, Ice Brew. Aptly named. So we all partake, except there were a few people who didn't partake that night. The bard here, and I saw that that's about the bard's only one who didn't take it. But everyone else in this room drank primarily the ice brew. Especially you, Mayor.
The dwarf holds up a finger. Points of contention. It was, by a supreme amount of marketing genius on my part, not called ice brew. It was called glacier ale.
Ale.
Glacier ale. I am not helping my case, am I?
No. So you admit that you were drinking nothing but glacier ale throughout the night.
Oh, indubitably. I can get any of the other alcohols at any point. But the cream of the crop, the best of the best, I'm not helping myself again, am I?
No. Ingredient list currently is going to be kept a secret, but there's a primary source ingredient that the brewmaster's son can vouch for me on this. It is a special type of spring water pulled from a well within his home.
That is definitely true, and the guards nod. Oh, we've seen it. We've taken the tour many times.
I'm sure. Now, what no one understood that day is that there were some strange forces at work, and that water wasn't the way it normally was. There was a hint of arcane energy, of life energy. That brew made everyone feel so great that night because that's what this energy does. It gives you new life, and it gives you renewed life, and it gives you a bunch of exorbitant energy. However, it has a side effect. Those who drank it or bathed in water or at least partook of the water and were deceased would come back to life.
Are you saying that the glacial had magic water?
Yes.
He very, very carefully pulls out his ledger where he was keeping all of the written notes, flips it open, pulls an quill, and writes magic water under the ingredients for glacial.
Yeah.
Now, Mayor, why would you care about this magic water if you so if you're so carefully friends with him? Shouldn't you have had all of the notes in the first place?
Well, he never shared his recipes. I mean, I'm a mayor. He was the brewmaster. He's not going to give me the information on how to do it. But I consider myself a connoisseur, as I believe I said, and it was a little bit of a test to myself to see if I could piece together how he brewed his brews.
And why would you need to piece together if you just had him do it, and all you had to do was marketing?
He kind of stares off. Well, I know this sounds horrible. Oh, so very horrible. But like I said, I consider myself a connoisseur. Have you never been a fan of something and just wanted to know a little bit more about it?
Aye, but not enough to write down the notes on how it's made. I'd rather just keep getting it and then just keep enjoying it versus trying to mass produce it. And I'm a bod. I should know.
Oh, well, I guess that makes a little bit of sense. I don't know what to say to that other than I just thought that it would be an interesting way to pass the time. Try to suss out how my good friend made his alcohols, but now I see that perhaps that is a bit odd in retrospect, but only in retrospect. Had he not been perished, it would not seem that strange.
By the way, how does the sun look when I brought up about magic?
Entirely confused.
I'm confused.
Mouths to himself, like, what? And actually, the son will interject. We've been using that water as long as I've been here, and my understanding is that Mida used the well for 100 years. And the dwarf just, that's right, 100 years, and only now does this magic water exist. Ha, ha! I say.
Well, that goes to what we found, which I'll get to that in a. So, of course, the next day after the unfortunate incident with zombies, it needs to go ahead and be said for this: the ale itself wouldn't have killed anybody. At least not the glacial. It wouldn't have killed
Well,
anybody.
then it sounds like we have no case. Because if it's not what kills people, then what are you saying?
It's what brings
it-
people
you-
back to life
I'm sorry.
if they've been
So
killed.
the people that were in the inn were already dead. I'm pretty sure I would have noticed that.
Already dead, or were killed that night.
And again, we come back to the 5 that made it out that night. The only one who had anything to gain, though, was you.
Alibi wise, I was in my room a night with Drusilla here,
Mm-hmm.
and Hangam and Denville here were in their own. We woke up at the sound of night of screaming when the brewmaster had turned and, unfortunately, had attacked his wife.
And
Who-
the kid just deflates hearing that. Oh,
I'm gonna put a
well,
hand. on
no
the
one
shoulder.
told me that.
Sorry,
Yeah, we
I
forgot
found
to
this
tell
way.
him that part.
But here's one of the
we
things.
opted to let the mayor tell that part.
Yeah. Here's
Well,
the thing.
so much for the mayor telling him.
There was another person who didn't drink that night. The brewmaster's wife, who seemed to be more intent on caring for her husband. And she wasn't turned. She was in turn killed by the brewmaster who had been done nothing but drinking.
Are you now accusing me, Ma? You accused the mayor.
No, of
You
course
accused
not.
me, and now me, Ma.
Of course not. Your mother's dead. She would have nothing to gain from that. No, but there's out of everyone here, the only person we don't know what happened after we retired. So, Mayor, can you regale us what happened that night?
It's a bit fuzzy. I was drinking too much, you understand.
Were you? You seemed pretty good to me when everything started going down. Very tearful about the loss of the tavern and burning and the alcohol.
DM, nope. Yep, that's very true. He did seem more sober than not. In fact, he was the only one that did seem to be holding his alcohol up until you guys retired for the evening.
Yep.
Mhm.
You look just fine. In fact, and I don't know any drunk who would notice that the bartender was slumped over the table dead.
Well,
Especially one who was camped out at the bar all night.
well, the thing is, I obviously everything you're saying is complete and utter bunk. But even were it true, which it is not, I stress under my mayoral duties here, you got no evidence. All the alcohol was destroyed that night. And the kid pipes up, well, actually, no, not all of it.
Oh.
And
Creepy.
the dwarf just kind of stares. I'm sorry, what? Well, there's still actually one keg of ice brew remaining, and the alcohol that my father brought over earlier in the day that was served as the preamble to everything. We still have a little bit of that. I assume that the rest of it was destroyed in the fire, but there's still some of that available. And the dwarf just kind of, oh,
And
well,
son, was any of that alcohol delivered that day other than ice brew? Was
yeah.
the mayor at all chance over by nearby those barrels? Did he investigate the stock at all?
Oh, he helped us unload them, yeah.
Interesting.
So
Mayor?
now we all.
I don't honestly recall. I help unload almost every time that he comes into town. It's an important part of my mayoral duties, helping
No mayor would do that.
unload alcohol.
Now look
Guards?
here, you wee
Anybody?
little sucker. No man will ever get involved in the town's tavern. We know that for a fact.
Not to mention, this is a small enough town. Did everyone notice the mayor helping out before? How often would you say? Guards?
The guards kind of puzzle. Well, there was that one time. It was about 15 years ago. Remember with the midwinter festival, and the other guards start laughing. Oh yeah, where he slipped and broke the keg. Yeah, about 15 years ago, 15 give or take. And
So
the mayor just kind of, I I helped this time because it was the most important festival. He was celebrating the glacial, his crowning achievement. Of course, I would be.
he came in that night announcing that he had finally created his greatest achievement. And I'm pretty sure his greatest achievement, his masterful brew, would have been kept secret until the day it was done. Isn't that right, son?
Very much true.
So, how long do you want to keep this farce up, Mayor?
The guards kind of look between him, you guys, to the gold on the table. Him, you guys, the gold on the table, and they pointedly, sir. It appears that we're going to have to deal with this at a later point. Our services are needed outside, and they kind of give you guys a slow look, and then retreat, leaving you guys alone with the son of the dwarf.
Now, it would be a lot easier if you would just admit to what really happened. But I do have one little more piece that may give you a little direction. The Brewmaster's Book of Recipes. I didn't bring it with me, of course, because why would I lose a bargaining chip? But, as you know with the tavern, I do have quite the affinity for burning things. A connoisseur as yourself, well, I'm sure you'd like to see a little peek in that book, wouldn't you?
Where are you going with this?
Just go ahead and admit to what happened. Take your punishments now.
He reaches out and very, very pointedly fishes 250 gold off the table. Sounds like we're done here. Now,
No, we're not done.
I would say that we need to alert the proper authorities of what's happened here. Yes?
Now look here first, you little dwarf. You're going to take a payment, and then you're going to try and deny everything that happened?
Money
That's not going
aside,
to happen.
why would you want to kill an artisan, an innocent man, and who would end by side killing his wife and a bunch of your own townspeople?
Exactly. Why would I? That is not what happened. Look, I have nothing further to say on this. I've said my piece. So he sweeps the gold into a bag and then tosses it at you, bounces off your chest, lands on the ground, floor. I guess he's inside. Now, we should probably bring this to the proper authorities. Yes, a higher authority than myself, the proper authority here. Yes. Or are you thinking of taking matters into your own hands, lass? Oh, excuse me, dang.
If need be. Who here would be a higher authority?
Well, no one here in town. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying head to the capital and bring it up there.
Hmm.
Because I'm going to say that they probably need to know about undead being in their own townsfolk, you understand?
If only there was a noble somewhere.
Aha! And I step forward. You were saying?
I think we found the proper authority.
Hello.
Noble's just a person. It's not an authority. No offense to your bloodship, but he doesn't, or she doesn't rule over anyone.
I don't know
Hmm.
if that's true or not.
All right, so what do you guys want to do at this point? Because he's not going to admit anything whatsoever.
At this point, I'm almost half tempted to just be like, Danzig, burn him.
No, because then that solves nothing and we get in trouble.
Yeah, we get incriminated at that point. But I will take the 250 gold off the ground.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
get that first
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
Wait. What if we hog tie him, get the guards to bring us a carriage, and we just bring him to the capital under the accusation of these crimes?
I don't know how well the guardsmen will take to us just hog tying the mayor.
They did just walk out of there in a kind of believable, plausible deniability time.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
I
what I
don't
was
think they're
thinking.
gonna
They
care.
were just like, let's walk out. We got other things to do.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna care.
That'd be hard to get through when we're doing for the head of a town of someone who's pretty well beloved.
Yeah, I do
Technically speaking, from what we heard though, the mayor didn't have much to do with the town other than the festival 15 years ago. So who's gonna miss him?
Now, he's probably had a lot more done with the town. It's just he didn't have time with unloading kegs. I mean, he's still a mayor. He's got to allocate finances and
Well, I don't know about it. It sounds like he's been misallocating funds.
oh, that could be quite the problem.
Yeah, he did say that he paid for damages out of town funds. So,
That's
you
true.
know, misappropriation of tax money.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So already we got a reason to bring him to the capital, and then they can investigate the rest.
Drusilla, do you think you could help launch an official investigation?
Of course.
Well, I think we're good here. Mayor, would you like to want to sort out amicably, or should we do this a little more?
He crosses his arms, sitting on his chair. I don't know what you think you're about to do, lass, but it's not going to go well for you.
And then I pull out the rope out of my pack.
Well, perhaps
Now
it's
let-
going to go better than I was expecting then.
After
Are
all,
you gonna try to tie him up?
Yep. I'm gonna help. Ah.
Cool. Yeah.
Are we all gonna do? We should all just do like those cartoon style where we all like dogpiling.
Everyone grab a limb.
As you pull out the rope there and say that yes, you're going to, he stands on up, pulling himself up to full height. They don't call me Hardrum Tooth Chipper because I'm a soft fella. And he rolls up his sleeves and takes a swing at Drusilla. Give me a second.
Oh.
That's actually going to connect, I assume. AC 17.
Yep. My AC is 16.
Now, guys, don't draw your weapons. We just try to.
He hauls back with absolute all of his might, rams his fist straight into your jaw, and he rocks you back just a little bit. doing exactly 0 points of damage. I mean, technically it's a minimum of 1, but yeah. For all of the strength that he musters at you, he throws a punch at you and it just rolls off your chin.
All right, can I roll to punch this sucker straight in his nose?
Give it a go.
You want me to just roll a d20 for it, since I don't exactly have an unarmed attack in my listing?
Yeah. Go ahead.
20 plus strength.
Ooh.
Hang on, plus
Well,
strength.
Yeah. What's your strength bonus?
That's what I'm checking now. My strength bonus is 3, so a 9.
Unfortunately, a 9 will not hit him. You stomp forward, throw a swing at him, and also miss.
I'm
And
gonna-
now that
I was gonna just roll a punch at him.
go for it. We are apparently dogpiling. Ooh, that's a good hit. And he goes down like a glass jaw, just straight to the chin, and he slumps, hits the chair, slumps forward, face on the desk, slumps back, slides to the floor. Thunk, thunk, thunk.
I do what Danzig did earlier with blowing out, like doing the gun thing with my fist. I go, don't mess with me.
And while he's down, I proceed to tie him up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not wasting any time with that.
18 strength, baby.
And I'm going to reassure the son.
I was going
We're
to
gonna
say,
take
the kid just stares at you guys. What? I don't understand what's going on, but it seems that it's in hand. I just want to get back to my Da's home.
Of course. Just know that we're going to try and handle the situation and that the proper authorities from the city will be launching an investigation and should be here soon. So
So,
well, hopefully they'll get to the bottom of this.
quick note.
And if it makes you feel any better, we'll let Vice bone him if he tries anything.
Quick note to
Pause.
everybody: the kid's parents are both dead. Is he just gonna be at a home by himself, at a place where we don't know if anything
Wait,
else there?
About how old is the kid?
14.
He's
Ah!
fine.
In medieval terms, that's like 25 or something, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's fine.
Not to mention, he's got the money that his dad made as brewmaster for the town. He's got a nice house he can live under. And I'm pretty sure that the town's sympathy will actually come in handy and they'll bring him some food for a while. If it's anything like a southern funeral, by God, you don't have to eat for weeks other than what
He's-
people bring you.
He's going to make it rain, just pelting people with gold pieces.
No,
Okay.
All right,
Until
so
the
you
proof is-
hog-tied the mayor who is unconscious.
Danzig, just real quick, are you sharing the gold with all of us?
Oh, I will. Yeah,
Okay.
I love we
Yeah,
had to make
totally.
sure.
totally.
I mean, I had to make sure in the dungeon when you got that. Was it 75 that first night?
Yeah, well,
I still hadn't seen that either.
75. You know,
25.
no,
He's like, man, that was 25. That wasn't 75.
Was it 25? Whatever. It ended at 5.
yep, 25.
No, I'm saying that's what Danzig's saying. It's
no,
like,
gotcha. Gotcha.
I must have rolled high on deception. No, I
right,
will
let's-
share the money after we get all this taken care
All right.
let's drag this little meatball out of the freaking mayor's office and into a wagon for Christ's sake. Because like I
Alright.
said, if he does do anything, I'm half tempted to let Danzig burn him.
All right, well, trussed up and unconscious, you drag him out, toss him out into the street there. You going to try to find like a wagon or a cart or something?
No, I'm gonna make
And,
let's make a guardsman bring us one, because wouldn't they have at least one?
Potentially, but whether or not they'd allow you to have it, I mean,
Okay.
you're going to be going quite a long ways.
Well, since we're gonna walk outside and we're gonna tell them what's going on, I'm gonna go ahead and try to persuade one of the guardsmen to bring us a wagon so that A, we can take care of the mayor until he faces justice, and B, we can do so in a swift manner.
And while you do that, I would like to, if it's all right, to search the office.
Okay, give me perception on that real quick. And then one of the guards just kind of stares. Oh, what have we done? What have we done? The other one, well, we're not exactly official employees, you understand? So, sure, yeah, we'll find you a wagon.
Damn,
someone
I
else,
didn't even have to roll persuasion.
does someone else want to roll that?
7.
16.
Thank you.
16. You paw around in the mayor's office a little bit and managed to find, interestingly enough, that there were a few things missed the first time on through there. You managed to find a little cubbyhole with what looks to appear I'm going to say appropriated funds from the town taxes and whatnot. You find a little bag with 122 gold pieces in it.
All right. Now, before I say anything, we should probably use this as evidence that he's and you misusing it.
I agree.
There's more.
Okay.
You find a cubbyhole closet behind a bookshelf there where he was keeping his brew recipes. The shelving unit kind of pivots away from the wall on well-made hinges that are concealed within the body of the bookcase. So it's difficult to see from the outside, but it slides away and then reveals a little cubbyhole behind there, within which is a very nice short bow. Very nice,
Ooh.
like ornately done. The handle is leather wrapped, but then there's little bits of pressed bone and 2 different types of wood laminated together into a very nice bow.
Like,
Who uses a bow in our
Me.
group? I shall give the bow to you.
Is it like better than what I have, or
I don't know.
We'll find out.
what,
Mortanis, care to
Well,
bring
hold
up
on
the
real
info
quick. Is
for
there
it?
anything else in
It's a sort of bow where one might want to roll Arcana while holding it.
Oh, okay. Well then,
Bring it to me.
I mean, I have 2 Arcana, so I can try it.
Okay.
If not, I can hand it to you. Hey,
All right.
Arcana's working out for me tonight.
Hey, that's been doing pretty good. Let me pull it up here real quick.
Cool. Yeah, because at the moment I just have a standard short bow.
Why is it not on the SRD? Give me a second.
Okay.
Oh, because it's its own subsection. Okay, let's see here. Okay. That makes things a little bit more difficult.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know how I want to do this. Well, I suppose that the easiest is just going to be. Okay. Give me a second to read this here.
You're fine.
Well, it turns out that it's not exactly what I thought it was. So we're just going to do, it'll be a basic short bow +1.
Okay. So
Yes, it is better than what you've got.
So for my inventory, I just add another standard short bow and remember it's +1.
It's a good question.
I mean, you can just write a short bow +1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
I can do
And
it right
then
now.
you'll have to macro it most likely to add the +1 to your attack roll.
Oh, okay. Let me just make a note of that, and I can figure out after stream.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
show you how to set it up. While they're exploring, though, going outside with Denville here, with the boy, and I would like to ask him if we could also bring the ice brew, the barrel of ice brew, with us for evidence.
He nods. Well, it's
You wanna just
basically
split
the
it in
thing
half?
that half could work. It's the last that I've got to me father, but
That's
it's
fair.
also the only thing that will seal his legacy. Come by the farm. I'll get you taken care of.
Sounds good.
Just one thing, wee lad. Don't let anyone drink it until we find out what's going on. Okay?
Fair.
Denville, I'm gonna go with him back to the brew house. Just bring the card over there whenever everyone's there.
Aye, you got it.
Was there anything else in there?
Just the gold, and I mean, there's plenty of other things, but nothing that would be of interest to you guys.
Okay, I say we keep the gold as a evidence that he's been like hoarding money.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, what about the 250 we took in? Do we need to throw that in with it, or are we going to hang on to it?
No.
question.
I say that's technically not a wrongful use of money. Like he's paying us to solve the quote unquote mystery.
Right. It's to solve a mystery for the town, so I don't consider that misuse of funds.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, I already have it with me, and I'm on the way to the brew.
And that too.
Yeah, I was about to say, good luck trying to get it back if we are going to do that, because I don't feel like getting burned.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going
Okay.
to keep
Well-
it for evidence.
After a little bit of time, you guys managed to get the ice brew, the glacier ale, into a separate keg that he's got handy. Loaded up in a wagon that the guards provide for you. Toss the mayor in the back, who is still unconscious. And are you guys going to do a long rest? Leave the mayor in the back of the wagon overnight, or what?
I mean, we'll take turns
Uh,
watching and do a watch while we
yeah.
ride in the cart.
Yeah.
So head out now and not worry about it. That way you're not staying in town any longer than this.
Right.
Yeah, we
Right.
can rest in the cart and take turns swapping out.
Yeah, technically, 2 people can be resting. One could be handling the cart, and the other can keep watch on the mayor.
Oh, also before we leave in the brew house, I'm gonna actually draw from the well one, like
Ah,
on its
okay.
own. I want to actually bring the water with me, so that I
Okay.
can also prove that it's magical by nature.
Wait,
Okay.
I thought they said that would wear off in 24 to 72 hours, so it doesn't even matter.
I mean, after they left in 72 hours, it would. So no, the magic water, like the actual source of the water, would lose its magical properties,
Oh,
but the water itself still is magical.
good point.
So
On one of my shifts while I'm watching the mayor, I'm gonna loot the mayor.
What was that? Run that by me again.
I said while on one of the shifts while I'm watching the mayor, because we agreed that we're taking turns. I'm going to loot the mayor.
Oh, you're gonna paw over him and see what he's got on him.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me try.
See, because I mean he's a mayorly figure. He probably has some good shit on him.
I hope so.
You know what? No. He does have a point. We need to make sure he doesn't have any weapons.
That too, I guess. Yeah.
You do manage to find that he has 8 platinum in one of his boots,
Ooh.
secreted away in a little sliding soul
Wow.
cubby.
Okay, I take that.
That's 2 platinum a person.
Hang him! Wait a minute. We need his evidence.
What platinum? I don't know what you're talking
Nope.
about.
Speaking of money, everybody, party wise, because I've been collecting the money so I can divvy it out.
Yeah.
Everyone get 100 gold pieces.
Okay.
Uh,
Everyone
Nice.
get 2 platinum pieces.
So we have 102 platinum, and I'm just gonna hold on to the silver. This finder's fee. I'm gonna call it financial advisor.
So is platinum the very bottom one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get how much?
it was-
so that's what, 2 each.
2 platinum and then 100 gold.
Got it.
That's split evenly. Promise.
And then
Holy fuck, that's a lot of weight.
I was I was gonna just jokingly be like, I find the 8 platinum, and also I jump ship, and just like bye. sucker.
8
Well, that was
platinum
why I
is
had to
not
say
equal
he had
100.
8 platinum rather than 80 gold in his boot. Because I mean, really think about that. 80 gold pieces just hanging around in a little compartment in his boot. Why is that boot 4 feet tall?
Mhm.
So I have a consider a newbie question here. Is there such thing as over encumbering in D&D?
There is. We're not really going to worry about it unless you start going like full RPG and carrying 16 long swords sticking out of your backpack and stuff. I don't find that encumbrance rules are terribly entertaining unless it's for obvious issues being circumvented, you know?
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Why can't I hold all these metal chest plates?
Exactly. Though on occasion I am going to be like, you know, you're carrying around 2,000 gold pieces. Besides the fact that gold is really heavy, that's you jingle when you walk, son.
So,
So you know, if it gets a little out of hand, you might want to see a money changer or something. But in any case, this is a good point to kind of segue into things. So, where exactly do you think you're going to go?
where is the nearest city
Well-
that Drusilla has authority?
Excellent question.
Well, I mean, keep in mind, nobles don't actually have authority per
Well,
se.
right.
They're noble houses. They have weight, but they don't have authority. He can't command anything particularly, but his word definitely has a certain sense of gravitas to it. So almost any city would at least give him an ear and an understanding and you know, more credence to his words, but he's not going to be able to do much commanding. So you could go to the nearest large city, or you could go straight to the capital, or as we haven't really discussed the world at large terribly much, the capital of the kingdom here, and it is a kingdom, is distantly to the south. But there is also I'm going to call it a conclave, or more of a um, meeting of the kingdoms. There are four uh, countries, because not all of them are monarchies, that reside around a centralized free state that belongs to no one and is under a religious order that keeps the peace between all four of them. A tentative, a very difficult peace at times. So you could go there because that area is beholden to no one but the church itself, or I should say churches, because there's obviously more than one religion, and they have authority with each of the countries and their respective leadership. Or you could just go directly to the monarchy of your current kingdom. The reason for going to the free state rather than the monarchy is that it is bypassing it, because the conclave does kind of have a more global, kind of like going to the UN type of a thing. So it's up to you guys. There are options to go there. Given that the Free State is a religious setup, and in a lot of people's minds, undead have to do with religion and the gods and that sort of a thing, you could go there, or you could keep it to a secular type of authority. I was going to give you guys the option on that because it's not the sort of thing I want to railroad.
Is there any of these places or any place where being a noble I would have more say than others?
Since you're a noble of this current kingdom of Unnamedia, then you would probably have more weight in the monarch's capital city there,
And how
which
far
is
is the
the city of Barcombe. It would be a travel of about a week to a major branch city, where you could either continue on your way or join in with a larger caravan heading to the capital itself. You're about a week away from anything that would be considered a decent sized city, though. That's how far north you guys went.
and the enclave?
That would be about a 3-week journey, though. You would be able to find someone that you could hire on with a larger caravan for better support, better, guard type of thing, maybe even getting paid as caravan guard type of thing. About a 3-week journey overall. Either way, it's going to be somewhere between 2 to 3 weeks, depending on which way you want to go.
Right.
I'm kind of I was gonna say I'm kind of concerned about going to the enclave, just because if we mention the undead, this might get on a global nervousness when it doesn't necessarily need to, because we already solved it. I don't know. I think we should just go to our kingdom, because I don't think it needs to be.
Agreed.
Did you just say
because-
that you already solved the undead problem? Oh, naivety.
To our knowledge,
Yeah, to our knowledge, we have, and even then, it's one type of deals. It's not a global problem. It was just it was kind of how do I put it? Just a byproduct of the test. It's not like it was something he intended.
yeah.
Right.
And we
I
hopefully the dwarf uses word. So
yeah.
There is also, give me a second. There is also the fact that you discovered what appears to be a unto previously known proto-elven enclave and another god, and possibly a whole religion about that, the life bringer and all of that sort of stuff. So what you want to do with that information in and of itself is also a question, because the potential of there being another god that was sealed away is a big deal.
Mhm.
So I say we just go to our kingdom for the mayor, and once that's dealt with, then we can go to the enclave and tell them about the religion. So then
Well-
that way we
Well,
or-
there's also there's two things here I want to mention. First of all, he mentioned I'm a noble within the current kingdom, but also on top of that, he mentioned this last place is pro. When you say proto, I guess you mean like pro elf. Like it's more elf than anything, or what do you mean? Because
A proto elf, as in ancient civilization that predates anything that you know about of the elves.
gotcha.
That was the dungeon that you were in, seemed to have that elvish flair and ancient armor and a pre-elven script language. So it appears to predate what people thought elves were doing in this region of the world by a decent amount of time. So
And
that's what I was referring to.
As a
Gotcha.
side thing, most religious sects and enclaves would not look too highly on what they could consider a occultist religion of a false god or anything like that. So they could try to just bury the temple and anything about that and make sure no ever comes to light of day. So that is a possibility. But the kingdom, they might not want to. They might do that. Might launch a better investigation.
But so I think we're all in agreement for Kingdom then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. To the capital city of Barcombe. That makes the most amount of sense. So we are going to, why don't we take a quick little AFK break, just a couple of minutes this time, and then go from there? Yeah.
All right, sounds
And that'll
good.
be the last stretch because we're planning on going for about another hour here.
Yep.
Okay. Why don't you guys all join us back here, you viewers at home, in about 3 to 5 minutes.
All right.
And we're back.
Hey.
Hello.
Awesome. Most excellent. All right. So, is there anything else anyone wants to do in the town of Icebrew before taking your bounty, which is equal parts magic water, equal parts half of glacier ale, and equal parts one mare, hogtied, and trust?
I have an idea. Can we see if we can bring 2 of the town's guardsmen with us as additional security and as witnesses so they know we didn't do anything funny or whatever with the mayor himself?
The guards discuss it amongst themselves, and no one wants to leave their family for that period of time because it'd be at least a minimum 4 weeks. And remember, they're not technically like an official, like militaristic branch. They're just locals that volunteer. So
What
Like
if
a
we
yeah,
offer
no one
to
really,
militia.
no one really wants to go along with.
what if we offer to pay them?
Oh, well, one of the guards at the very least perks up with that. Well, I would be happy to leave my wife for how much gold are you talking about?
I'm not talking gold. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just go all out because I can't think of what else to spend on.
Uh,
A platinum
yeah.
per guard. And I have 2.
You have fun with
Well.
that. I'm not paying.
I'm not either.
Hey, I have 2. I have 2 platinum. Screw it. I'll pay for it.
All
What?
yeah.
What?
One platinum per guard. Okay. And the guard that seemed to be a little bit more enthusiastic about it kind of scratches at his beard. And so you'll be paying me 1 platinum for the trip down and then another platinum for my trip back later on. Yes.
1 platinum for the round trip. So you're getting paid 1 platinum, period.
Well, that's a little cheap, don't you think?
Okay, scratch that then. I take the platinum off the table. It's 100 gold.
Uh, 1 platinum is worth 10 gold.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, that's fine. You're lowering it. You're lowering it.
No,
Totally.
he just offered 10 times as much.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he offered 100 gold, so he just completely.
Gotcha.
That's
okay.
10. All right, not 1 platinum, but would you? I'm going to lowball you for 10 platinum now.
Methinks the bard is not quite well good with bartering.
I didn't know how much platinum is. I've never dealt with platinum in D&D. Okay.
Yeah, every tier is 10. So
Okay.
Okay.
at least I thought it was. Isn't it still for?
Yeah.
It's 10 silver per gold, 10 gold per platinum. Yes.
See, I thought it was like 100, but again, I've never really delved into it. So
All right. Well, so how much are you officially going to offer him? Keeping in mind that on average, a worker earns about 1 gold per week in average D&D campaigns.
I'll offer just the 1 platinum then, since that's 10 gold, and that's for a round trip.
All right. They will both graciously take your money.
So we got 2 guards. Hey.
All right.
Nice.
And they can ride in the cart, right?
Yeah, they can ride in the cart. And I'll tell you, I'll even be generous. I will go ahead and pay the platinum here and now and allow their families to take it if they wish.
All right, that's fair. And then as you hand over the platinum, and then you're going to be paying for our food and drink and right?
No.
What
Yes,
bring
I'll
your
do-
own.
I'll take
I'm
care
a
of the food and drink.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm a guard. Am I supposed to forage for my own food? I mean, geez.
No worries.
Meanwhile, Vice is at the brew house like, what is taking these guys so long?
And just still in her
All right.
normal, like sitting back, laughing. It's just like leaning against the wall, waiting. Like
So the
expecting
wagon
something.
that you have been given is basic open top, nothing fancy. You know, about the size of a 4-door sedan type of a thing with a seat up front, very like Laura Ingalls Wilder Little House on the Prairie, but without the arched cover that you see in like Oregon Trail and shit. So 2 horses hitched to the front. The horses are not in the greatest amount of condition, and with a dwarf, a keg that's only half full, but it is still a full-sized keg, and 2 guards. There's not a lot of room besides that at this point. So it could probably fit one other person. Otherwise, the rest of you are going to be walking.
Yep.
Oh, and one driver, of course. So
one other thing before they get there to load up the brew, I would also have liked to, when I got a moment alone, pour my water canteen that I have
Mhm.
and fill it with the ice brew for myself.
Sneaky. Okay, you can do that very surreptitiously, no problem.
I will sit in the driver. I will nobly honor myself to be the driver.
Nice. Okay.
I'm gonna take a nap.
All right. So you're gonna ride in the back with the alcohol and the dwarf and the guards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And me and Drusilla. Don't forget about that.
Y'all are walking.
Yeah, I guess there's only room for one other player in the back, unless you're gonna stack dwarf on top of guards or something. You know, you play a little bit of Tetris with the people. There's only room for one vice in the back.
Here's an idea. Do we have some additional rope? We can always just drag the mare.
No.
No.
I mean, it's a great idea, but I feel like that would kind of hurt our chances of getting any proceedings.
Assuming he's still alive when we get there.
Yeah. I only punched him in the nose, and he...
Well, no, but you're dragging him as you pull.
Oh yeah, that's true. Fair.
Yep, I'm gonna take my nap. Y'all enjoy the walk.
I'm driving.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's
All
true. All right, so
I'll walk.
mid-afternoon, you guys set on off, heading on south. And yeah, that'll be an interesting little bit of a journey. Keeping in mind, like I said, you guys are at the very distant edges of the world map type of a thing. It's going to be fraught with a lot of snow and icy road, because there's not roads, plural. It's just one way on up here before you get to the frontier area and then on towards civilization in a little bit. So it's going to take a bit of a trek to get anywhere somewhat reasonably civilized once again. So as far as that goes, you guys load on up. Everybody's good on like food rations on their character sheet, because that might actually come into play. Drusilla, does anyone have survival in as much as they could go hunt for food and drink non-yellow snow? Oh, okay. Good.
I also have like 10 rations on me.
Oh, okay. Pretty decent.
Yeah,
So
I got survival as well, so
I have a 0 besides survival, and I have 10 rations.
Oh,
I got 3 beside survival, and I've got 5 rations, so should be good.
I figured that an elf that had a bow would have some sort of survival skills on them, but I guess growing up nobly, you had, peasant elves, if there's such a thing, to do the hunting for you.
I guess I didn't realize I had 0, so I don't know what happened there.
You never needed it. You grew
City
up
folk.
Sure,
Yeah,
we'll
you're
go with
city
that.
folk.
It certainly fits in with my backstory.
I've got
I'm
10
imagining that
rations.
Drusilla being a noble, but still knows how to use a bow, would like draw a bow, knock an arrow, and then a servant would run up, grab the arrow out of the string, and run and then stab something with it. Great shot, ma'am.
I just pictured like we're yelling at her to like shoot a deer. She's like, "Why would you shoot an animal?" We're like, "Where do you think food comes from?"
Well, where is the servant that brings me my pork chops? That's normally how this works. I don't understand. Confusing.
She's gonna ask one of us to go hunting and be like, "Bring us back some meat." Well, you're the one with the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I was planning to get my own food until I saw that survival was 0.
Yeah. Someone goes out, shoots a deer, brings it back, and she just stares at it. But which part is the meaty bits? You got to cut it out of there and cook it. I'm sorry. Do what now? Cook? What?
Listen, guys, I have 10 days of rations, and if you want me to something, you better like your meat charred.
I can cook. Don't worry. I do not. I prefer.
Well, I can cook as well, but if I have to hunt, it's not going to be much more than a charred.
Oh,
I mean,
you
Drusilla
don't
can
have to
shoot the
hunt.
bow, but whether or not she can get back to you is the question.
I prefer my meat medium rare.
I actually imagine, since Drusilla's got rations in her character sheet, that they're actually like, geez, filet mignon again. I just don't understand what Mother did when she packed my lunch. It's like MREs, except for it's just super black truffle again. Ugh.
Oh.
So the first day passes uneventfully as you work your way on through. The snow's not quite as high as one would expect, given that it is just about midwinter on here. Effectively, the area is in a kind of a natural recessed bowl, nestled between a handful of mountains and a natural pass that heads on through, which is entirely the reason that senior ice brew Sarnillis himself wound up coming up here. Is it was a way to get away and kind of contemplate the world, and then finding the well and thinking about the brewing aspect just kind of snapped all into place, and the town grew up around that. But it's not terribly deep snow, and for the first day it's actually quite bright and beautiful. Blue sky, no clouds, and just pristine unbroken snow all around you guys. It does look like a couple of wagons may have gone through previously in a past day or two, as there are fresh ruts in the road, giving you a way to follow on through. But for the most part, it's quiet, it's peaceful, and it's actually very serene as you guys wandering through. Camp for the first night is absolutely no problem. You manage to find a nice little spring that's still flowing despite the relatively frigid temperatures and whatnot. And anyone that wants to do any sort of a survival check to gather for food or check for local dragons or anything may do so now.
Solid 11. Middle of the pack.
With an 11, you don't find any
Ah.
deer or elk or moose, but you do find a nice brace of conies. And with a 4 for survival, you manage to find some bear scat. It's not edible, though. You check, but you don't find any. Palace with a straight 10, you manage to find absolutely nothing but some yellow snow. Natural snow cone. Wow, a 20 on the survival check. As Angham, excuse me, Hangam Windhammer returns back with a handful of rabbits that he's discovered out and about. Vice comes riding back in on a deer and then just slits its throat right in the camp and be like, "This is what I found." No, but you do manage to take down a deer, and so you guys have a decent amount of food for that little bit.
All right.
20 survival, pretty dang good. With what was that, an 18 rolled? Jeez.
Yep.
So
I still
yeah,
can't believe I rolled a nat freaking 1.
it seems to be, yeah, that was pretty good. So you managed to get a little bit of food taken out of the way, and with a little bit of effort, find some like natural tubers and some wild carrots and potatoes, and make yourself a stew out of all of it. And the night passes uneventfully. I'm not even going to ask which order you guys do any sort of keeping watch, because you're so close to town that there's not a lot going on through here. Though for those of you that, well, all of you traveled on up here the first time, you do know that, like I said, you are in the wilder lands, beyond even the frontier, where the furthest people generally have homesteaded themselves away from civilization, where orcs still have many, many camps out in the wilderness, where unknown things still lurk in the mountains in the nearby areas. So it is well to keep an eye out for things, as this is technically entirely uncivilized. The dawn of the second day sees a lot more cold. The clouds have pressed on in, lowering from the mountains as they widen out into more of a valley than a bowl, and snow begins to fall shortly before noon on the second day, obscuring the sun, giving you that the only way that you can manage to find your path is by following the wagon ruts that had previously come through here, because even the mountains are now distant enough that the snow and the clouds is obscuring them, leaving you in a vast white expanse of swirling nothingness. Someone, I'm not going to say who, should probably give me a survival check in order to determine that they're going the right way.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, there you go.
'Cause I wasn't
You
gonna do it.
managed to figure out fairly well which direction is east based off of a couple of breaks, and knowing the basic wind patterns of the way that things would flow off the mountains around here. And yes, it does appear that the wagon tracks that you are following are going in the correct direction. So as the day ponders on, the snow grows thicker and then wetter as warmer temperatures start to come on up, making it actually almost worse, because dry snow, not a problem. Wet snow, absolutely miserable. And then as you get on towards evening, you notice a wide copse of trees. They're spread fairly distant and far, but it's the most amount of trees you guys have seen in a while, now that you're actually below most of the tree line. And from behind various large trees, you see figures racing towards you guys. Go ahead and give me perception, anyone that actually cares.
Roll perception. That's one thing about you guys.
Nice.
As long as it doesn't roll another freaking nat 1.
Well,
Okay.
the 8 and 9s are insufficient to be able to tell anything other than it looks like children are running towards you.
Oh
Uh,
no! Hell no! If it's children, I'm already terrified.
But on the other hand, the 12 and the 19 are sufficient to tell that no, they're not actually children.
Oh,
They
thank God.
appear to be goblins sprinting through the snow towards you.
That's,
With their
Oh!
that's actually way better than children. I
Yeah, goblins you can deal with, but children—that's just creepy. That's some like
yeah,
Hang on.
some
Let's keep
H.P.
all the
Lovecraft
facts.
stuff.
Children sprinting up in the snow. That's what freaks them out. Not just simply children. Because
So
no. Now we have to, next time we go into town, Storm or Tannis, just have some kids run up so we can see hang them just freak out. Like, kids!
that would be pretty good. We're
Can
actually
I-
gonna
can-
call,
okay.
we're actually gonna call it right there for this because we don't want to get into combat tonight. So we're gonna pause until the next episode for the moment. So that means that we're gonna move on into the post game breakdown, unless anyone has any last things that they want to add about the situation right here.
I will like to add not about the situation, but you mean to tell me that at night, in desolate nowhere, you see children running up to you. Your first reaction isn't why? What the hell?
Oh, most assuredly, yes. I mean,
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, in general, if I see children running at me in any situation, I would freak out. Okay, well, let's do our general post-game breakdown for those that are new and haven't followed on this. After a session, we like to kind of break down and get thoughts on what people liked, what people didn't like, what things they're ruminating on, so that we can improve ourselves both as players, both as myself as a DM, and just kind of see how we liked things. So we're going to start and go across the board. Vice, would you like to give us a little bit of insight into how things went tonight for you?
Honestly, I was expecting to have to start burning off spell slots and get ready for an epic boss fight, but as soon as I saw that very quickly that wasn't going to be the case, given who our opponent actually was, opposed to just a fleet of zombies. I'm seeing that you're right. There's a lot of thinking outside the box and role playing here, which I absolutely love, and I was able to get us out of that fight, and then having this whole underlying mystery that was even deeper than we thought. That I had to rack my brain for going back like over a month ago and be like, what happened in the first session? Okay, this happened. This could be okay. So this could be what's happening right now. And
Which actually reminds me, do you currently have inspiration? Because you should get inspiration for that if you don't.
I do. I didn't get a chance to use it on the bus.
Okay, well, yeah. And that was one of the things that I really do appreciate when people don't just go straight into there seems to be something that's evil bent. Let's go ahead and just slaughter it. And then we can think about what might have been afterwards. Had you attacked the dwarf, I actually would have allowed it. He was high level, but like I think I mentioned in the first episode that we did this, I am not a fan of throwing in NPCs that are unbeatable for the sake of just, having that. Should a nat 20 land and things go awry, I let the dice fall where they may, because I find that to be infinitely better than telling the players, no, you can't actually do that. It's a setup for a returning bad guy later on. I mean, if you manage to do something successful, you should be rewarded for it. So had you guys tried to strike him down, it probably would not have gone your way. But on the other hand, had you managed to get some really good smacks in, it could have gone very differently. So I appreciate the outside the box thinking and actually trying to parlay, because the dwarf actually had no interest in you guys whatsoever. He just wanted his research, and anything else,
Yep, that's why I looked for the best bargaining chip that I had in the moment and had to figure out, okay, I need to get his attention without him making think that we're at any kind of threat where he has to actually be active and try and kill us.
Sounds good. Any other thoughts? Otherwise, we'll move on.
No, that's all for me. I'm loving the mystery, and I can't wait for the next what you pull out of your hat next.
Yeah. All right, Drusilla.
I thought that was a lot of fun. I'm kind of curious. What? I mean, I heard you say the book and everything else like that, but what advice made you decide? Well, what if I grab the book? How'd you make that connection? Because I'm like we've talked about before. I'm still new to D&D. I'm in 2 campaigns. This one and another one. It's in person, but I've yet to do anything like that. I've yet to think of anything off the
Yeah.
cuff like that.
So I'm picking apart what Mortanis is saying in the moment. So he basically, and I'm paraphrasing, saying that he's like experiment number, blah blah blah, test failure, blah blah. And he mentioned like, and there's this woman, it's this Helen apprentice is scribbling furiously down in the notebook what he's saying. So I'm like, okay, he's dictating his experiments. He's dictating this has gone wrong, and she's scribbling notes down. So this must be his research notes.
Okay.
So it's like one. I'm just adding one and one together, and okay, that two. That's important because that has all of his research. If it's here for research only, then that book is probably going to be more important than anything else in this room.
Gotcha. So it's figuring
It's
out
basic.
it's figuring out in the moment what's important to the enemy and using it as revenge.
Basically, I mean, you figure at this point when you walk in that when the zombies pop up and there's a big glowing orb thing, and you're in a place of a little bit of undead, and this guy looks like he probably could be the bad guy. He glances at you and doesn't care whatsoever, but he cares about the book. So, what is it that he wants? How can I deprive him of that?
Okay.
And the reason I didn't want to engage in fighting him is any guy who can act nonchalant, not care, and 8 zombies to kill us is not someone we want to fight.
He's got a point.
Cool. Yeah, like I said, I'm new to it, so I'm still trying to figure out how to get in that mindset of playing in the role playing sort of thing, role playing mindset. So that's good information to know.
All right, Tangam Windhammer.
I'm having fun with it. I have to break myself off of my like normal mental, because normally when I've played D&D, there's not been this much of outside thinking. It's always just kind of been like, straightforward-ish. And that's a compliment to you, trying to make it more interesting. And so I have to like train myself to actually like I'm trying to train myself to think outside the box. Um I think it's going great. I think we're doing well. I also was thinking that on that fight, like, because when you said he didn't care, I was like, okay, we should probably not do this. But you know, I was ready to go because I do have a swing first, ask questions later mentality, which I'm trying to break.
Well, and one thing that I generally wind up going for is I'm just one person, and whatever I come up with is hopefully pretty decent. But if someone comes up with something better, I'm going to probably run with it and flow with it because, well, it's probably going to be better thought out than anything that I did on things. So anytime that players can come up with something that I hadn't thought of before, I'm generally going to be a yes and type of person and jump on top of that sort of a thing. So if you ever do have anything that you can just throw out there and see what sticks. If everybody feels that works better, we generally will just go for it. Yeah, there's a couple of times I think I even said it tonight. I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to allow that. So if you ever have anything that you think of, just throw it out. And if it doesn't stick, we can move on like normal. But if it does, we've changed entire campaigns around before because of things like that. So Denville Alistair.
I mean, pretty much everyone else has mentioned already. I'm really loving the mystery of this. One thing I'm loving about this versus the other campaigns I've been playing, it's revolving more around the story and the investigation versus the combat in the story inside of it. And it's just like, Drusilla dealing with the book, and then we're having to figure out who did finally murder the brewmaster, and it turns out it's the mayor, and we get a chance to just simply drag his little scrawny butt to the Capitol to hopefully get figured out and maybe get rewarded for it. I mean, I'm loving that more than anything. And then on top of that, the chance to get some village guards to come with us is like, wait a minute. I'll pay in order to get you to come. Then at that point, you rolled with the punches. Like, I'll allow it. I especially love that.
The mayor in my drafted notes did not go with you guys, but I had absolutely no reason not to. And you know what? That sounds way better than what I had planned. Dragging the mayor along with is going to be a heck of a lot more fun than leaving him behind. So why not? Let's do it. Let's go with that. So yeah, I mean, that was entirely a complete change from the way that things are supposed to go. But that what makes the best things. Everybody agreed that, you know what? We should tie this guy up and drag him. So that's
Because
definitely
what's to stop him? What's to stop him during the time we're gone from running off and evading justice?
Exactly.
That's the first thing that came to mind for me. So
what was funny about that was from Alan, I took the tying up as a joke, but I looked at my inventory. I was like, I do have some rope.
Yeah, if anything, Boondock Saints has taught me that you always have the rope.
Oh, you and your bloody fucking rope.
But hey, I mean, as long as there's the rope, you might as well use it. So, and that's the thing. I mean, whatever we can do outside of combat that still advances the story is usually where the fun happens like that. I mean, it's one thing to be hitting things with a broadsword, and it's another
Mhm.
to tie up a mare and drag them on out.
Mhm.
So I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I mean, to be fair, like I said, things have gone a little bit differently. Obviously, I did not intend for the inn to burn down, nor did I intend for you guys to, I won't say kidnap because that implies no justice, but abscond with the mare, I think is a pretty good terminology. So the town of Icebrew has suffered setbacks that it may not recover from for quite a many years. But well done. That was entertaining, and it wasn't done in a way that's like, oh my god, these players, they're just. It was fun. It was within the plot line, and it furthered the story and furthered the fun for everyone. So I'm very happy with the way everything turned out. Even if I never could have suspected. Well, no, I could have suspected that the inn would burn down when we had someone that was talking about how much they love fire, but still. So
You know,
all
Dungeons and
things
Dragons
considered,
famously.
I'm having fun. Yeah. So I think it's pretty good. And for those of you that are playing at home, we are going to be back next Sunday night because we missed a week last week, and we're going to return to our normal schedule next week, continuing with the every other week. But we will be back next Sunday night. Next Sunday night.
Mhm.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'm going to let Palace do the outro, but thank you all. It's been wonderful. We've been having fun, and I hope you've been enjoying it. So,
Oh yeah. So, thank you again to everybody who has hung out with us tonight. We appreciate you join us session after session. It's been a lot of fun. And like he said, Montana said, we will be back next week to get back to our regular schedule. Thank you again to Belly Kitten for the follow earlier. And if you hadn't seen it already, we do have the Discord there. Excellent time in Mortanis. Um,
and Danzig.
Yeah, I've been
yes.
posting that like periodically throughout the entire stream just to make sure.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't tell how long that had been there on my end. Sorry about that. So yeah, we do have the Discord. You're welcome to join if you want to chat with us outside, off stream, or even join us on community nights. We do have that. I'm not sure when the next one will be, but you can find about it there in the Discord. Um, we do have a podcast on Saturday. Yesterday's got canceled. Due lack of communication between myself and Sniper Eye. There. So
We didn't get the timing right, I'm afraid, and it turned into just a bad situation. So we had to postpone for the sake of making sure it goes right.
Yep. So we will do that again next Saturday. So we'll have podcast on Saturday, and then D&D next Sunday, and then if there's any community nights in the middle there, you'll hear about it. We won't hear about it here. You'll hear about through our Twitter account. I don't know if I have a. I'll have to add a command for that now. Think about it. That is it,
I'll
everybody.
check Citrus one.
Yeah. Nope. So you can find us at Hobo Slayers is the Twitter username. And that's it. So we're gonna raid a team member tonight. Why don't we raid Manicus Long, who's live right now?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
All right. And we will see you next time. Have a great night.
Bye.
Adios.